Hello, Critverse. It's me, Sven, Community Manager of Crit and Miss and Dungeon Master of Beckoned Blackest Night. From the 11th through to the 27th of March, Gem and I headed down south for a quick getaway, and in order to continue to living up to our promise of delivering a new episode of Beckoned Blackest Night every week, we had to come up with a plan. Luckily, we have an amazing gaming community, and Mud was able to take over the ones and twos while I was away from my streaming setup. And Christian very humbly offered to run a short spin-off adventure for us that would tie back into the main story in one way or another. So without further ado, I present to you the 3-part spin-off story, Beckoned, Curse of the Violet Briar. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, we are here tonight, and we had a bit of a shake-up in things. I beat Sven in single-handed combat to the death, but I'm generous as always, and I've taken over Crit and Miss. I've stolen his stream key, and I now own everything. Generous? No. We're doing a bit of a swap around. The lovely Gem and Sven are on a little honeymoon holiday getaway trip with one another, and in a rustic little cabin, which looks beautiful with some of the pictures we've seen. And I'll be DMing in their stead, as it's a bit difficult to produce and do stuff with the limited Wi-Fi they have out in the rainforest. So we'll get stuck into it as quick as we can, as we're on a limited clock, and I have a story that I would like to tell as our adventure that we'll be exploring. Several short one-shots, or I guess a triple shot, a three-shotter, however you would like to call it, a thruple,
Just call it a thruple, yeah.
We'll be going through is set in the same storyline and may have benefits or consequences for my own character and the others of Beckoned Blackest Night, depending on what our players decide to do. So, with that being said, obviously, if you haven't already, it is free. Give a follow, jump on the Critverse as one of our lovely supporters, send it to your friends and family, share the stream. All those things don't cost $1, but really help with the algorithm. And if you do have money to spare, if you are a secret millionaire lurking in the shadows watching the stream, give like 10% of next week's pay, and that's going to be 10, amazing. In any situation, we'll see our cast. We won't introduce the characters just yet. We'll wait until we get into the main storyline. Look, we already know everyone, so let's just do our hellos. Does everyone want to? Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Excellent. How's everyone going tonight?
Good.
Extremely well.
Maybe.
You're just lucky it wasn't two-armed combat, Christian. If I was allowed to use my other arm, I'd be in the DM seat by now.
I've got one really strong right arm. It's all of those personal time that I spend alone. Anyway.
Shake weight.
Jess just death stared me. A couple of cameras are up, as you will have seen.
That's fair.
We've got a few people just with some rough internet at the moment, with Gem and Grace, and so they're just going to be using their lovely voices for tonight, and we'll see how it goes as well, obviously with Rainforest and with the batteries and charges and Wi-Fi and how it all is. It may be a bit difficult for Gem and Sven, and if they do drop out, I'll just kill their characters off, and we'll continue onwards. We'll jump pretty much into it. We do have our banter topic for tonight, and I'll get stuck into that sooner rather than later, so that way, again, we can do as much D&D as possible, but it is important for tonight. Our banter topic is a little off of the usual horror theme of our ones we've been exploring Curse of Strahd, and instead, I would like to know everyone's dream pet. Fantasy or real, you have infinite money and you can basically just wish this pet into existence. It is a pet, so at the time of you having it, it is like a little baby version of whatever the creature is. So we'll go around and we'll do that for everyone. Mine is Bonzo. I've got my dream pet, Labrador. He's the most adorable little thing ever.
Boo!
Yes.
What a boring answer. Boo!
I'll go alphabetically from top to bottom on Discord here for me. So I'm not sure how that'll look for you guys watching at home. But up first, never having a chance to be the player, finally stepping into the shoes of the plebeians of this campaign. Sven, Mr. Crit and Miss himself, Mr. Worldwide, what would your pet be?
I feel dirty. I feel dirty being referred to as a player. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the lack of power. I don't like the feeling of unknown. I don't like this at all. But I'm gonna sit through it because I'm curious to see where this story goes. For people at home, I don't know what Christian's doing. For some reason, I just gave him the keys to the kingdom and said, "Hey, do your fucking thing." So
I told him to trust me.
I must have been really drunk at the time. I don't know how many rosés I had then. But can we have people as pets? Is that a thing?
Let's stick away from people for reasons unknown right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a line through a young Dolph Lundgren. Okay. Dolph Lundgren in his prime, out of the picture. Okay, let's go with. He said we could have whatever we wanted, whether it was real or not. I'm gonna go with the first edition Beholder.
Oh,
The really derpy looking ones?
Yeah, the one that basically looks like an orange with eye stalks. That will, if I have that waking me up every morning, I'm gonna have a good life. I'm gonna be pretty happy.
okay. Interesting. What's the reasoning behind that? Just quickly as well. We'll try to jump on to the next person, but why Beholder? Why do you mind go there?
Well, I wanted to keep it D&D related. I was like, what's my favorite D&D creature? I have yet to actually run a Beholder, despite it being one of my favorite creatures. And the first edition Beholder, I mean, it is a work of art. For those people who are watching, if you haven't seen what a first edition Beholder looks like, just put the stream on pause and jump on Google and Google it. It's basically just an orange with a mouth and an eye and some eye stalks in it. It's very low effort and it really speaks to me as a person. I like it.
Okay, lovely. Going across from, despite it being a non-horror topic, somehow reverting back to horror. Dan the man, who our character, I'm very interested to see you expanding upon your universe, which I won't tease just yet. But what would your pet be?
Well, I've for years always wanted to have like a great big Bengal tiger, and I used to live on a street where everyone would just walk and jog and be seen and walk their dogs. So I just thought it was always a great idea that just walking down that street with a great big tiger would be epic. But then I watched Tiger King, and that makes me sad. So I don't think that's really my answer anymore. So I might go with you, like a cool doggo that just like hangs out and just is always there. I like that idea.
Okay, lovely. Moving down the line, the other half of Crit and Miss, and luckily she wasn't in the ring. Otherwise, I might have lost the battle for Crit and Miss. Gem, what would your pet be?
Straight up dragon.
A dragon, lovely. So a hatchling at this point in time.
No. No.
Well, like I said, they're all babies.
And just be like, fuck this. Okay, well maybe mine's a special kind of dragon that can transform into a bigger dragon when we decide to.
Having a dragon would be pretty awesome.
So it's like a house pet inside. I'd earn a lot of street cred.
Lovely. Keeping it nice and simple. We have a couple of D&D creatures and a puppy. So a wide variety here, throwing a large net for what the world is to expect if we can wish for anything. Grace, next up on my alphabetical list here. You had a couple of ideas, some fantasy, some non-fantasy when we were chatting about this prior. Have you settled on one?
I've always wanted a Highland cow. Highland cows are like my favorite thing in the whole world. It started out as a joke when I got accepted, where like everybody would make fun of me like a cow, because of the ring in my nose. And then I just grew to love cows so much.
Bonded with them.
No. I've always wanted a cow, and like I'm one of those girls when you trip and there's a cow on the side of the road, I'm like, moo. And I always make my boyfriend cow, so that we can look at cows.
Yeah.
I have noticed
Yeah.
that I need to stop pointing at and saying the name of every animal that I see because it makes me look like I am a very challenged person. When Gem and I went to buy her a new guitar, that's when I realized that when we walked up to the guy's driveway and there was a chicken and I pointed and went, chicken! And the guy looked at me like...
You've just gotten out of the disabled car parking spot. Yeah, he fits. Lovely. We've got 4. We need 5. Our lovely producer for tonight stepping in. Definitely modest. If you saw the starting soon screen, definitely did not post his face across 40%
Do not tell
of the
Sven that.
starting soon screen. We have Mod Brew, the man, the
I'm the
myth,
captain now.
Mod,
I'm the captain.
who, as our new captain for our stream tonight, wanting to turn us off with a click of a finger. What would your pet be?
As the producer, I'm going to ignore your rule about no people. I would have a little tiny Donald Trump.
Please, for the love of God.
I want a little tiny
Do
Donald
not pick a
Trump as my
person.
hype man. I want him to like walk around behind me going, they said it couldn't be done. He's the greatest. He did it. No one could DM like him. No one could produce the greatest producer. I just want him to follow me around doing that for my whole life. It'd be amazing. And then if it ever gets tired,
I warned them.
millions of dollars. Can I also do a little shout out for Dan? I spent all this time getting ready this little picture of a first edition Beholder, and then I looked down and Dan had changed his character art for his area to the Beholder much quicker. It was probably up a full minute before I got mine up. You can actually go and look at the tape and see how much smarter than me Dan is and how much quicker that happened.
Also, it looks like we just had a raid from Let's Roll for Dragons. Thanks for joining. You guys have actually joined the start of the stream, so a very good time to jump on. We're doing a small little thruple shot, 3 sessions outside of the main campaign.
The greatest stream that ever existed.
So we're just doing the beginning of...
Sven last week on there.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. We were down in Melbourne. I reached out to Let's Roll for Dragons. They were gracious enough, or I don't know, they just didn't know who we were, and they decided to let us on to their own, era. But no, they were great. They brought us on for a stream. We played some werewolf social deduction game, and it was amazing. I mean, if you haven't already,
I love
make sure
Werewolf
you check
and
them out.
Mafia. That's so fun. Is the VOD still up somewhere for us to see?
You know what? I haven't had a look. Check out their channel anyway on Let's Roll for Dragons. Make sure you give them a like, share, follow, subscribe while you're at it.
See if we can find the VOD and chuck it up in the Crit and Miss Discord, maybe. If you're not in that, join in. But let's get started. We have our pets with a human baby. Okay, so we jump into tonight. For our adventure, exploring the domains of dread, Ravenloft, many names that it goes by. A scream shatters the still gloom. Inhuman shapes slip between crumbling tombs. The shadows reach forth. Do instincts and imagination conspire against you? Or have otherworldly evils claimed you, drawing you into the mists of Ravenloft? Our adventure tonight will be exploring one of 3 of these settings, as our party are up to no good. We are not surviving the evil, we are living the evil. And we shall begin.
Oh, we evil! Do we get to be an evil party?
Yes.
I'm glad to see everyone did the homework.
I did the homework.
In the silence, as all of you kneel, you! A shrill voice calls out. In this ritual cavern that you will find yourselves kneeling in, an earthy smell filling your nostrils as you stare down at the dirt and roots beneath your face. A new voice then picking up. You are the chosen children, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters. As each of you await your anointment, with the crack and pop, you begin to hear the mutilated sounds of daggers being cut across scales, fur, skin, a hatchling, an observer, a puppy, a calf, a human baby, each being torn apart as blood then begins to anoint your hair, your face, and your body. A final third voice then shrieks up, the three known as Mother's Maid, the Violet Briar, your mothers. Fetch our ingredients. Woe upon any foolish enough to interfere with our thorns. As one of their hands softly comes and strokes your cheek, grabbing your chin with their fingernails. I cannot wait! Strahd has no idea. They go by the Violet Briar, and despite their physical differences, all their names being violet in common, your three violet mothers. In unison, there joins voice as one, a common goal. Humming slowly begins to form into a language unknown by any of you. Their eyes watching you with intent nature. Slowly, your own mouths begin to follow in this ritual, this sermon in languages unknown, taught to you over and over to complete the spell that is about to be cast. Further back in the cavern, tens more voices, 40, 50 people joining in this symphony of this cult-like song. Eyes staring in the back in zeal, envy, and greed. All those that want to be in your position, want to be kneeling here right now, covered in the blood of that most closest to you. Vines begin to crawl up across your body, tens turning into hundreds, surrounding your feet, your calves, your thighs, embracing your entire body so tightly that it is a skin-tight coffin. Then in an instant, they crush you, destroying your body and killing you instantly. Somewhere, a single drop of blood falls from the sky. Hot sands blowing across a desert, a new domain of dread, a new dark lord. As it lands down into the sand, nearby some statues of ancient beast demigods. Bodies begin to grow, cells splitting rapidly like some grotesque form of accelerated tumors, adult heads with toddler-sized limbs, excruciating pains from each of you, screams coming out as your bodies grow anew. Your armor and equipment and weaponries growing from your very flesh before they rip themselves clean. In your mind, the three voices in unison call out again. Now, go, our thorns. Bring us the larynx of Anketop. It is the first of three, the power of three, and with it we will finally rule. And that is where you will find yourselves, waking up your bodies anew, serving your mothers, gathering 3 ingredients for them from 3 different domains of dread. Waking up in the domain of dread known as Har Akir, that which worships towards the pharaoh Anketop. Anketop is a woeful soul roaming the lands, trying to connect pieces of his broken spirit. His body mummified and ripped apart many thousands of years ago, And for all of you, your quest is simple. Find one of his body pieces, his voice box, his windpipe, his larynx.
All right. I guess we should go across the table here and one by one sort of introduce our characters, maybe a little bit what they look like as they reassemble themselves, not unlike these growths like you mentioned.
With water lapping up behind you and a staircase in front leading into some sort of this temple that the statues found themselves in, I would like to go across and, one by one, who would be acting first? You're all slowly growing at the same time, but whoever's acting first can introduce their character first. Who's probably the most extroverted?
We should roll a... Okay, all right. Who among us is extroverted?
If you think your character you're playing is very much like do first, think later.
Oh, that would definitely be Vidya.
Perfect. Who is Vidya and what does she do?
So Vidya, she's a soldier. I would say that, like, she's pretty much devoted her life, like, 100% to the cause. She is one of those people that it's like, the only reason she would have come is they would have told her that it was her by herself solving this, and then she would have rocked up, and the rest of them would be there, and she's pissed off. Definitely thinks she's God's gift to barbarian. She's definitely not happy that there's other people here. She kind of sneers at them and just silently starts walking up the stairs, just trudging up, very eager to get this whole thing over with.
Perfect. First in, first serve. You will serve your mothers, not these whelps. After that, who wants to do something? As any idea comes to your mind of what your character's doing, you can then introduce your character.
I'd be happy to jump in. I think as we sort of reform in this new plane of existence, and Grace, what is your character's name? I don't have anyone's character name written down.
So Grace's character name, my character's name is Vidya.
Vidya.
And she is a fairy. Well, she's half fairy, obviously, because they're hexbloods. But she has like these like dazzling sort of like wings behind her. She's carrying a great axe that's like 3/4 of her body size, obviously, because she's a fairy. But she's very muscly. But she's carrying this great axe like ginormous back, and it's a wonder that it's like not crushing her.
You are all of their chosen, the parents' chosen, very capable, as this is a level 20 adventure. What does your character do, Sven? Who is your character?
Johan. Yeah, okay. So imagine if we see this room, and are we like in a room, small room, big room? I can't see the map at all, so I'm just...
That's okay. You're completely out in the open right now. Water lapping behind you, staircase in front, at the entrance of what seems to be a courtyard. The courtyard is filled with sand in its own right. It's the ruins of a courtyard, I think would be a better description. Ahead, leading towards the courtyard, are a collection of those statues of beast demigods lining the path.
Yeah, and Johan, I imagine, as his body sort of formed, he was probably like lying down on the ground. And as we sort of open up to the scene, maybe we see like an older, almost like maybe Italian-looking gentleman. He's got like curly grey hair. He looks like he's well into his 50s at least, if not into his 60s. And he's wearing like a heavy leather apron over the top of some really nice-looking chainmail armor, and it's like heavily stained with different shades of paint. He's got like paint brushes stuffed into the front of his apron, and he doesn't look like he's carrying any weapons on him. He just looks like a nice elderly gentleman, and he's probably spitting out some of the sand as he sort of pushes himself up. He's like, wait, he's trying to talk, but his mouth is so dry. Wait, Wait, Vidya, I imagine we all probably know each other, being from a smaller community. He'd probably make his way over to the stream that's nearby and try and maybe wash himself off a little bit after experiencing this, I mean, hideously traumatic experience of dying and being reformed again.
Your hag minions, brother. This is how they teleport. Reaching towards the water, taking a big drink of it in. Unfortunately, nothing but salt water.
Spits it out, coughs. Vidya, wait, I know it is not a pleasant experience. This, maybe it is your first time traveling like this. I do not know, but we should stay. We should stay together. It is no good to walk off on one's own. We cannot risk upsetting the Violet Mothers.
Vidya sort of scoffs and rolls her eyes, and she's like, "The fact that I'm even forced to breathe the same air as the four of you right now is just absolutely ridiculous, but I suppose I will wait."
Now that we get a better look at them, we can see that that Johan Aldori, my character, he's got these like heavily stained linen wraps tied around his head. He can't see.
Lovely.
At least not with mortal eyes.
You are right. You are all very close. Brothers and sisters, maybe considering each other more cousins in a sense, more estranged, but all of you are exactly like they said, related to one another. Hexbloods, children of the Violet Briars and fathers of different races. Moving across to another of our siblings, we will go. Let's go to the left here. Actually, no. I think I want to save Edelhart for last for reasons. I saw Raijin moving. Mod, was there reasons for that? What's Raijin doing?
Raijin is a mass of hair and arms just sort of clawing across the floor as he's forming. And it's one of those sort of scenes where you see an arm rip out of an arm, way too many hands, and then the camera sort of pans and you just see a body sort of forming in the shadows on the cliff over here. And as it forms...
100%. Okay.
And as that shadow forms, you see one figure form, and then another figure forms, and the first figure with the massive hair and extra arms reaches out to that creature's throat and just rips it out, and then holds up the shadowy larynx and then crushes it in his hands and goes, "Yes, mother."
Lovely. Formed up in the shadows that are your
And
power.
as the shadow comes into pure form, you see the pale skin and the blood red hands with little brass knuckles on each of their hands, and the blue hair just shimmering in the wind. And we are looking at Raijin, which is a tribute to tonight's DM, whose character in the real campaign is Fujin, and these two go together to form a tornado, or the Raijin and Fujin is like the storm gods.
Called Cyclone Alfrugian.
Yes.
All right. Stop sucking up to the DM.
We'll jump across. I saw our armored individual going to help, going to belittle, stepping beside Johan. Gemma, who is your character? What are they doing as they step towards the water?
Yeah, so Leslie is actually terrified of everything. He doesn't actually know how he's ended up here. He's a bit of a folk hero back where he comes from, because there was once a battle of the worst on worst fighter, which he won. And then from then he got a bit of a reputation. So I based him off a character from Drellius and Associates. Highly recommend watching it. His name's Leslie. But my backstory for him is that he basically got raised away from the hexbloods and has come back recently and is still quite lost. But, you know, he has won some pretty big battles, and not really by skill. So he's sort of been thrown in. And
sort of luck or accident.
Yeah. And then he sort of follows Johan around and annoys him a lot. So he'd actually be going to him for protection rather than to belittle him.
Especially
Johan's
surrounded, by this fairy stepping up the stairs, confident and rude. This shadow ripping a second version of itself apart. If anyone, Johan is the closest to a companion.
Closest, yeah. So he's over there going, what is happening? Magic's pretty much new to him as well. So, he's just going to sort of annoy Johan, and Johan's probably going to tell him where to go eventually. But that's what he's doing. He's going nowhere near Vidya. He's very scared of her.
And as the, I guess, embryo eventually forms a beautiful cloak that surrounds the body of our final member of the entourage, rich-looking clothes in a variety of colors. At least that's what I can see from the art. Dan, who is your character? What are they?
There's an air of pompous about him as well.
Our party begins getting ready to enter.
So Edelhart is quite a tall, short black hair, very flamboyant, and just holds his chin up really high. Those of you who are following along with the Wheel of Time series, I really get his persona to be like the book version of the lad, the son-in-law of the Throne of Andor, Camelon, yeah.
Yes, he's great.
So that's how, like, that arrogance, that, like, just pure righteousness. I'm gonna find it hard to try and link this back into the story with him being part of this coven. We'll see how this goes.
For the people watching, what is the connection to the main campaign?
And this is Bill Irondance's father.
So your other character,
has obviously sung a song about this.
Just a little backstory. I was actually looking at playing one of Bill's parents as well, until I noticed it was an evil campaign, and I was like, "That's too much to put on Dan's character. I can't speak up for Dan."
Yeah, so look, I'm not. You can decide the role playing for this. You can tell the story on how this will make sense, but apparently Edelhart is the son of a hag and is helping them on an evil mission right now. So, lovely.
First up, what he would like to do is just under his breath go, "I always get picked with all the worst of them," and walk over to Johan, and I would like to cast Enhance Ability on him, and target Wisdom, because I'm stuck with the fucking blind guy.
100%.
Nice.
Not knowing him well enough to know that he's actually
Don't
like
bump into shit in you.
So much more competent than what I probably am. Yeah, he's just like, just can't see that. You just
All right. So I imagine Johan, being what he is,
Lovely.
he might not be able to see what's
senses.
Happening. Yeah. But he can feel it. He can feel this magical energy sort of entering his body, and sort of like he does. He's looking up towards the sky. He maybe looks over towards Edelhart, and he says, "Is that you, my brother Edelhart?"
Yes, of course, it's me. Who else?
It is good. It is good to have you with us. It is difficult sometimes to keep track of who it is that I am traveling with, but it is good to see that I am not the only one who can see what lies beyond.
Are we quite done?
Not just yet, my
Grabbing-
winged friend.
One moment,
Grabbing
sister.
all of your attention from up
do
ahead,
that.
uncertain what to do next.
Oh, I know what I'm doing
interrupting
next.
anything that is going on between any of you. Up ahead, a flash of red light glows from within the courtyard, and following with it, the sound of intense fire, and a scream following that of a large beast. You see more and more fire spewing from that direction as small humanoid figures in the distance begin to shamble across the dirt and sandstone.
It would seem that we have direction. Tell me, my boy, what was your name? Leslie. What do you see?
Uh, uh, I don't know.
Helpful as always. You there? What was your name? Vidya. Before
Yes.
you rush off, tell me what your mortal eyes see.
Fucking mummies.
Mummies?
Oh, fucking calm your tits. It's fine.
Yes, still your heart, young one. We still have many trials before us. It is as I said, we cannot risk the ire of our mothers. We should proceed with caution. Tell me, from which direction comes this flame?
That way. That way.
I'd say that way to a blind guy.
And Johan, I even forgot my own character's name. Johan sort of sidles over towards Leslie and wraps his arm around Leslie's. And I imagine we all know each other well enough. Johan can see just fine. In fact, he can see better than pretty much anyone. He can see things that other people can't see. He can see beyond the veil. As he wraps his arm around that of Leslie, he begins. He opens up his palm, and in his hands, this shadowy form begins to grow from his palm and unfold, and you see this large tome, like a spell book, appear in his hand. I would like to cast, if we have the time for it, as a ritual, detect magic.
It's up to you. The figure up ahead is probably about 200 feet away. There's mummies shambling across the ground and the fire spewing back towards them. You can sit here and just wait for 10 minutes. You're not heroes. You don't have to help whatever's happening up there if you don't want to. But
Okay. This
yeah.
figure. What does this figure look like? If I can see
you
it.
guys see the edges of it. There's just the roar of some sort of a giant beast that is then shooting this fire at these mummies that are walking towards it. You can see simply the
Okay.
center of the courtyard, but to the left and right, the walls of the courtyard block your vision of the larger figure. You can just hear noises
Okay.
of it.
So he'll run his hand along the pages of this book before he intertwines his arm again. I might try and do a knowledge check of some sort to maybe get a better understanding of where we are and what we might come across.
Yeah, 100%. As sort of knowledge rips from the book itself, entering into your mind this dark, forbidden, hag-like magic. Rather than needing to make a deal with something, you simply have some of these things at the touch of a fingertip. The hexblood that you are. Give me a history check, and we'll see what you know about Har Akir.
All right, let's see. History check. I don't know if I have anything +1 to history. Not too bad. 17.
17, lovely. The mummies up ahead, first of all, do grab your attention, as even for hexbloods, as capable as all of you are, an amazing adventurer from the surface world, those twisted by grotesque Shadowfell magic, and the knight, the guard. You're not sure what Leslie brings to the table just yet, but
Not much.
you know your talents. You're confident in them, and despite all of your strengths, mummies are known, unlike other types of undead, for having a very frustrating disease to deal with, mummy rot, something that can affect anything, no matter their strength. One of the reasons why some necromancers prefer not to use them, other than creatures that are immune to said magic like that, such as mummy lords and pharaohs. Beyond that, with your general knowledge, the sands lay waste to many other creatures, such as purple worms and bullets, but you may not have to deal with those, considering you're heading inside into interior structures. Your guess would be at things made of structures made from metal or stone, golems and gargoyles and the such.
All right. Yeah. Cool. I just want to mention I do have all of your names in my Book of Shadows, which means if anyone goes down to 0 hit points, you'll go down to 1 hit point instead. Just keep that in mind. It's something that I have. But
Excellent.
as he recalls this information, he pats Leslie on the back and he says, "Please, my boy, pay these ones no mind. They are of no consequence to us. Lead the way, I shall follow closely behind."
Okay, so Leslie gets out. He's got a little mascot in his pack. The little looks like a little tiny owlbear, and he stuffs it up on his shoulder, and it helps actually stave off fear. And while he's walking along, he's playing with his spear and making these noises, and he accidentally sets it on fire. But that's probably a good thing. So he's walking along. It happens every now and then, and he doesn't know why. So he's just like, ah! So yeah, he's like, okay, I'll lead you. And so he sort of grabs Johann's arm, and you can't tell who's leading who, though, honestly. I think that Johann's making a show of letting Leslie lead, but anyone who's watching would know that's not the case.
Yeah, he's definitely letting Leslie walk up ahead. That's for sure.
Perfect. Okay, excellent. Well, with that, we will jump on to the decision. I guess, yeah, so Johann and Leslie begin making their way forward. Is anyone doing anything else other than heading towards the
Yes.
fire and the mummies?
Yes, I feel too clean. And Rajan is going to take out his shears of shadow snipping, or scissors of shadow snipping, and reach down because he feels a little bit uncursed at the moment, and he's going to cut the shadow from his feet, Peter Pan style. And when that shadow comes off, I've got two options. I can either command it and make it do all this stuff and like turn by turn move it 30 feet, which sounds boring. Instead, I'm going to relinquish control of the shadow to my DM, and it becomes a shadow stat block from the monster manual, but it's Fey type instead of undead. So this is straight up like witch stuff. And so I've separated my shadow from myself, and I'm going to say, watch and come in when it's most opportune. And then send the shadow off to the DM's discretion.
Does it have a time limit?
It does not.
Perfect. Excellent, excellent.
It's a really cool item. I just found it the other night.
So yeah, as we delve more into tonight's session and then the other 3 ones, the characters that they will be playing over this thruple are level 20 adventurers, hexbloods, each of their races, the children of a witch and something else. They all have a slew of magical items, 1 rare, 3 uncommons, and 5 uncommons, as known with hags, or their small little ingredients, monkey's paws, a cursed ring, all the different things that they have. So we'll see what some of these are as they come into play. But lovely scissors of shadow snipping. Never heard of that before.
No, neither had I. It's a very cool magic item, and basically you can do it against people's will as well. There's a DC 15, but I'm willing, and I detach my shadow, and then I can either command it, and it can go around and like do sniping and use it like a familiar to get information. But that seems boring, and it's going to take heaps of time. So I'm just going to cut it and say, watch us from a distance. Come in when you can if you need to. And just put it on scout duty. And it's just a shadow.
Well, I will move all of you up to here. As you eventually make your way up to the front opening of this courtyard in question, sandstone opens up into a much more man-made architecture. The courtyard ground designed with a red painting that follows a path forward towards what seems to be a large table in the center. The table itself surrounded in papyrus scrolls, other ritual items, the mummies in question that are slowly roaming around the edges of the table towards the large beast, still somewhat covered by sandstone columns. Grabbing your attention, however, past this giant beast is a behemoth of a statue, what seems to be some sort of a jackal-headed god rising up 200 to 300 feet high, large stony arms holding 2 different Egyptian relics in their hands, and eyes that seem to be gigantic diamonds, set and sparkling with the sun that glistens across them. Pools of water to your left and right, and more columns and greenery. Plant life shows the beauty that once was, obviously, Pharaoh Ankh-Top, and the majesties of when he was in full control in his youth, now has begun to rot away somewhat. The mummy's a sign of that, obviously. As your eyes begin to adjust, and each of you are looking, let's have a little check here. What is actually, because you're level 20, I know that some stats are going to be crazy. Can I please get a call out for anyone who has a passive perception of 20 or higher?
Oh no.
Mine is passive perception 17.
I was just holding my hand up
But
and I
I
realized
do-
you don't have my camera. 23.
23.
I
okay.
do have dark vision and true sight.
That will be helpful. That will be helpful. But with a 23...
An advantage on wisdom checks.
Yes, an advantage on wisdom checks.
Oh, yeah, that'd take him up to 22 then, +5. Yay!
True. Yeah, look, with the plus on yours, your blind sight, Johann, goes out even further beyond the columns that would block your line of sight and instead sees an echolocation of the form. Large limbs with ribbed intersections across them, claws that dig into the sandstone as it tries to hold itself in place against the force of the flamethrower that comes out of its throat. From the shadows on the right side of the column that you find yourself sitting at, Raijin, you see the form itself in color. Bronze scales that shine against the sun, long wings that seem to droop like cloaks, less sharp and more curved in a beautiful design, and a head that comes back in the similar sort of curved edges of twin axes along the left and right side of its face and snout. An adult bronze dragon, a creature of, as the metallic dragons are, good, that seems to be battling against the undead in this land. Fire breaths are scorching across the mummies that are coming towards it, and it seems to be fairly confidently winning the fight at the moment. The mummies, however, slowly meandering across towards it. You do see a couple of wounds here and there, scales ripped out, some bits of flesh that you can see are starting to rot away, collecting flies near them where it might have contracted mummy rot already, that disease that you learnt about, Johann. But as you all arrive, what would you like to do?
Just as a point of question, point of info, a brass dragon versus mummies, do we feel any of these would be sort of on our team or very against us? Like brass dragon, is that kind of like anti-us?
Give me an Arcana check, please.
I'm really good at Arcana. Like, as a level 20 character, you're going to be shocked when you see the plus. Hopefully this will roll through. I'm doing D&D Beyond. Okay, I got a 19.
A 19? Look, a 19's not shabby. A +4. It's
I rolled high, all right?
A +4 sounds nice to us at level 2, but some of you guys have like +15s. It's crazy.
Can I roll with my +17 or not?
Give us a roll. Let's see what you got. Would have got. Edelhart.
Come on, 39.
Edelhart the Adventurer.
Come on, 39.
27. With a low roll there as well.
Damn.
With a 19, Raijin, as you ponder across it and think back to some of the shadows that you've stolen and killed in the Shadowfell, creatures that have gotten lost and locked in Tempest, the land that your parents are from, as they've wandered the cornfields of your folklore domain of dread. Thinking back to both of these entities, you've been told that neither will be useful to you, or you've even found that you're unable to steal their shadows properly when it comes to it, or get them to work for you. Mummies have a inherent built control compared to normal undead. They are completely and utterly loyal to the pharaoh that raises them. There is almost zero ways of gaining control over them other than slaying them and then raising them back. And even then, sometimes the pharaoh's magic takes back hold of the necromancer that would be attempting that. Bronze dragons are also not something that would be on your side. A good aligned dragon and brass dragons, and brass dragons specifically being creatures that make their lairs in coastal areas or desert areas. Brass dragons themselves liking to support and protect weaker creatures, helping raise other younger dragons, trying to teach a city how to farm and fend for themselves. It
So
seems to be
friends
here
with
for whatever
Leslie.
reason. Yeah, friends with Leslie, 100%. But it would
Do it,
obviously
Leslie.
try to help other people for the common good.
Well, Leslie's pretty dumb. So he'd start walking up because he's seen dragons like this before, and usually they were friends before all the shit went down with the hexbloods. So,
Hell
and
yeah.
Johan had sort of tried to slow him down a little bit as well. Be like, "Come on, my boy." What would you say to Leslie if he started running ahead?
That's awesome.
Please, my boy, it is sometimes best to exercise caution. Tell me, this beast, I sense its claws driven into the sandstone ahead of us. What does anyone here know of this beast?
I saw one on the farm back home.
Please,
Fucking love
anyone
Leslie.
other than Leslie, is there anyone who has any information?
Already watched this first. Can anyone other
Something
than
that we
Leslie?
can, please, Leslie, if you would not mind, keep your words to yourself for the time being. It is that the adults, that the grown-ups talk for just a moment, yes?
Leslie just looks confused. He doesn't look angry.
A beast like this, I think, is not here to help such as us. I think we should approach as friends, perhaps employ a little bit of deception. And he's like breathing heavily already in the hot sun of this desert environment.
Excellent.
Edelhard,
Your sweat coming down
have
your
you
brow,
any...
100%.
Yes. Do you have any experience with creatures such as this?
The brass, no, but these are usually defenders of the people. I say we wait
Defended.
until it's.
Just to help you here, Edelhart, quickly, I will use your Arcana check as we've roleplayed already in the past that you are an adventurer. Your couple relationship is that with another famous adventurer. For whatever reason, Edelhart is here, and despite his heritage, his lineage, even if you haven't come across a brass one, you would know the basics. Fire breath is one of the main things they're known for. Spellcasting. All dragons, once they reach the adult stage, usually already have a lair. They would only be looking for a new lair if they lost their previous one for whatever reason. And you also know that brass dragons are known for their sleep breath. Being somewhat passive, peaceful creatures, they would rather not fight if possible. If there is a chance for peace with something, they would rather knock it unconscious, fly away from it simply. They don't want to have a fight. It's not they're not a red dragon or a bronze dragon.
With my knowledge of this area, with the check that I rolled earlier, is there anything that I would know that might be?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like
Straight away,
maybe
it's
perhaps
odd as
priests,
fuck.
yeah,
Priests
of and or whatever it is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Look, you would know two things. First of all, about this area. One, these are domains of dread. Good creatures aren't usually meant to be here. Barovia is a uniqueness to that because Strahd has an interest with plucking toys away from the material plane. But other ones don't usually do that. A brass dragon being here is definitely odd in its own right. And then second of all, as for priests, you know that Ankatop has several individuals, the childs of Ankatop, are very similar to you and the Briars. These children of Ankatop are known for being half beast, half human, and being demigods. The statue ahead of you feels like it's probably one of a monument to one of his children.
And could I potentially use a little spell called Seeming to change all of our appearances to appear as maybe some priests of Ankatop?
100%. What does seeming do for us?
Seeming, you give an illusory appearance to each creature of your choice that you can see within range. An unwilling target can make a charisma saving throw, blah, blah, blah. You can give them the same appearance or different ones to the targets. The spell can change the appearance of the target's body and equipment. You can make each creature seem 1 foot shorter or taller and appear heavier or lighter. The target's new appearance must have the same basic arrangement of limbs, which I imagine, we probably
8
would
hours
as
as
half
well.
beasts, half humans.
Mm.
But otherwise, it's up to me, yeah.
And what's your investigation? It's your spell save DC. What's your spell save DC for a creature to see through this as well, just so we know for future?
I believe it is 23. I'll just go to my
Crazy.
spells. It should be... Oh, no, sorry, 21, because of the changes I had to make to my character.
No, that's fine. Okay, 21. So 21 investigation check for something to see through that. And lovely. So an 8-hour party-wide illusion spell. You can definitely cast that, and bodies begin to shimmer, magic begin to glow over everyone as beautiful gowns, similar to that of the statue in front of you, come down in blues and whites and golds. Equipment being held in their hands, not weapons anymore, but instead different types of sickles and batons and wands, things that some sort of a pharaoh would wear, hold themselves. And then atop every one of your heads, a different animal head. Each of you can choose what yours is as you do your roleplay for your character.
I'm choosing Leslie's. It's a chicken.
I was going to say an
Leslie's,
ibis.
okay.
I was going to say an ibis, a bin chicken.
Love it.
A bit.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that, Sven? Ibis for a bin chicken?
That works.
Okay, perfect. Well, what is your animal head as you sort of take the step first and the spell comes and then finishes?
I would try and mimic the statue that's the head of us. So I think it was a jackal.
A jackal. 100%. Lovely. Taking some steps forward, and the bodies of these illusions glowing over the rest of you as you look at one another and see them. Magic's done. What now?
I bagged
Something else
crocodile.
not
I'm
right.
just saying. Crocodile.
Edelhart's got a owl familiar named Robin Hoot. So he would take owl.
Cool. Moving on. Of course you do.
Christian's favourite thing.
So we have a chicken, a crocodile, an owl, a jackal, and what is Raijin?
Sorry, Christian, a bin chicken.
A bin chicken. Sorry, I'll always refer to it as a bin chicken, so it sounds less formal. What is Raijin?
I think it'll be like a raven. Blackbird.
Excellent.
Raven, crow, whichever one you want to call it, depending where you are in the world.
Yeah. No, 100%. I would like to think that honestly, the raven's probably the most weird for here as well. An owl is very similar to a falcon, looking like. So Ra and other things like that. A bin chicken is something that you would see here. A jackal, similar, a crocodile, but a raven isn't a sort of very Egyptian-esque creature, so something exotic almost to this land.
How about a black scarab then?
No, you can keep it if you want to. I was saying
I
it
like
sounded
black
exotic,
scarab
but
actually. I'm going to go with black
Black
scarab. That is kind of
that's
cool.
creepier to be honest, because the head of an insect, very unsettling. As you all make
Just
your
like
way
that
up
one.
further and further to the end of the walkway here, another burst of fire scorches across the mummies. You can intercept and help if you want to, but if you were to give it a couple more seconds, they'll all probably be dead in a minute or two.
Nah, let him kill him.
If anything would help out killing the mummies, I'd cast Sorcerer's Blast and try and burn one.
Look, I'll leave it up to you guys or not. For anyone that does want to assist, just give me a skill check of your choice, whatever skill you would like that to be. If you don't want to sit and just simply sit back and watch, more than welcome to as well. On the mini-map, I will put your tokens just back if you instead just watch the brass dragon with confidence or whatever your particular reasons being. But we'll go across. So, what is Edelhard doing?
I reckon he would lean against his pole and just watch it all unfold.
Perfect. I'll move
He's
the
like,
elements forward a bit.
it's a waste of energy to interject. One of them's going to win, then we can deal with it after.
We already know a Sorcerous Blast coming out as spurts of magic shoot from Johann's painting brush. Is that his spell focus?
His spell focus is actually his book, his Tome of Shadows or whatever it's called. But he does wield a rod, and his rod comes in the shape of a paintbrush. Yes.
Perfect. What does video do? Watch, join.
Video is very much the same as Iron Dancer. She's like, why waste energy? They're gonna die. They're not worth the effort. Yeah, just gonna let the dragon pick them off.
Okay, and Leslie? What does she say? She's muted on Discord.
Sorry, I'm muted on Discord. Leslie's making his way very slowly behind one of the pylons, but he does
He's
look very
hiding.
majestic. He's hiding, yeah.
Excellent. And Raijin.
Is it looking around? Is this all in like broad sunlight at the moment? Like, are we out in the
100%
desert
right
sun?
now, yeah. You see a building up ahead with doorways, but right now, complete sunlight.
All right. Looking at where the fire's been going recently, I actually thought ahead and I did bring popcorn kernels. Is it possible to next time the dragon breathes to pop those using my crazy speed? I'm happy to drop a key point for this. Get there, pop the popcorn kernels, get back, give everyone popcorn.
Give me a roll for it, but it won't be assisting. It'll be for using the fire breath to your advantage to sit behind the mummies by just the correct amount. So give me a roll for that. We'll do that first, and then we'll go to Sven. So what do you get for your popcorn?
Like a sleight of hand sort of thing, or
whatever skill you would like. You make it make sense.
I'm going to do perception that he's picked up on sort of the limit of the fire attack.
100%. Give me a roll for perception.
That's a nat 1.
Cool.
You're up, bro.
Give me 1 sec here.
That's right, go for it.
Can you give me a
Christian, remember
dexterity
this is a
saving
one
throw?
shot, so definitely don't hold back. Have fun.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
I know you're a big softy of a DM and you just don't have the cojones to pull the trigger.
Can you please give me a dexterity saving throw?
Of course.
God damn it.
That'll be an 18, so it's probably
18.
not high enough.
An 18 is just a pass for this adult brass dragon. Despite a low roll, you still manage to just so happen dodge out of the way with evasion, taking no damage from it, which would have been 52 fire damage.
Oh, dang.
As it scorches the zombies in front of you, or the mummies, sorry, taking out several of them as they're ripped apart. Some more at the back, eventually then ripped apart by Johan. What was your roll and what skill was it?
I rolled an attack on one of the zombies, and I rolled a 27.
Yeah, 27. The couple of ones that aren't in the line of that fire, you simply just rip apart. Different elements shooting forth as acid spews across, lightning, thunder, ripping apart the bodies of the two on the back. Your spell accuracy to a pinpoint as you rip apart joints and then connecting areas of like shoulders, kneecaps in a scary accuracy. And in a matter of moments, the mummies are but naught.
Yeah, so I imagine, like, with this illusion spell sort of cast on, and I had a look too, it's not even a concentration spell, it's fucking phenomenal. His rod has sort of taken the form of, like, an ankh. So he's, like, holding an ankh in one hand, and the other hand he's holding, where before it was like a dark void in the shape of a book, is now like this magnificent tome with like a blue and gold sort of trim over the top of it's like almost like the Book of Life. And he steps down, and whatever mummies are still alive after the dragon has like torched them, he holds out his ankh and it reflects maybe the sunlight, and there's like a burst of fire, and there's a burst of fire in that direction, and the last couple of mummies like burn down to a crisp. And Johan, not realizing that none of his compatriots have joined him, steps into. Is it? I imagine it's like a foyer, like an open area where the dragon sort of
Yeah.
is. Is that?
Yeah, there's that table still with now burnt papyrus scrolls and sacrificial things atop it. A bit beyond that, by about 30 feet, the giant statue of this child of Ankhetop. And then in front of the table, probably honestly about 10 feet away from you guys now as you've approached, the adult brass dragon, which rises a good 30 feet off the ground, a wingspan of 150 feet, that it's kind of showing on a somewhat dominant display. Despite what you guys know about them, it doesn't know whether to trust you or not trust you, as it's giving you all a bit of a side eye at the moment. Its body side on.
It's and Johan tucks the Ankh into like a sash that he has tied around his waist to keep his robes in place, his illusory robes. Slams shut the spell book that he has in one hand, and as he slams it shut, it sort of vanishes into like a burst of golden light, and he gets down to one knee, holding up both hands sort of in supplication, and tries to think of some kind of greeting that would be used by followers of Ankhetop, trying to see if this maybe is this some kind of guardian of this place, or trying to get an understanding of what's happening here.
100%. As you start doing a deep bow, beginning to try to twist your vocabulary into an accent that you would think would be from a land such as this, interrupting you due to its confusion.
What is going on here? Why are children of that accursed soul helping me? Why are you destroying your own? This makes no sense. Are you friend or foe? I was here to burn these mummies, cleanse this land, free the innocent from your tyrannical leader. What is going on?
As it continues to side all of you like a big cat in Africa, unsure if it should attack yet or not.
All right, so when it said our leader, do we get the feeling that it knows who we're working for?
The wording and what he's used, obviously, you guys have a thruple leader for our thruple session. This land belongs to Ankhetop, the one beneath the sun, the god of this land above all else. You're all dressed at the moment as children of Ankhetop. He probably thinks that he's believing it at the moment. He has no reason to try to look through your illusion thus far, so he's probably talking about Ankhetop.
What brings you here, dragon?
This domain should be set asunder. All of them should be. I wish to try to free the innocent souls that have been caught up due to the errors of the Dark Lords. This is the first of my attempts. Will you intervene?
As he takes a defensive position, getting ready to blow another fire breath. Despite their passive natures, this one seems to have a bit of a grudge, despite what you usually know about brass dragons.
And still in this sort of pose of supplication, his hands held high, Johann speaks. He says, "Great worm, whose scales reflect the sun, we have come doing the bidding of our Lord Ankhetop. Yes, it is true. He has seen the error of his ways and wishes to set free those souls who are trapped here among the ever-winding sands of this place. Your fire has given unto him a new vision. Praise you, great worm. Praise you, who has shown our Lord a better way. Embrace the fire, embrace the sun," he says, but he has no larynx with which to speak. Thus have we come as prophets of his proclamation to bring unto those souls freedom.
Takes a step forward, his eyes darting at those that haven't spoken so much yet. There was a nervous murmur from Leslie, but with Rygen, Vidya, and Edelhart still sitting there silent at the moment.
None need words, but nice if they are truth. Is this the case, other priests?
Vidya will step forward and sort of like... Sorry, I don't know how the map works. I'd move it.
That's
Thank
okay.
you. Will step forward and sort of like take her axe off of her back and like put the hilt into the floor and bow her head and say, "My axe is yours if you wish it."
Give me.
Edelhart will say.
Oh, no, continue.
No.
He's still.
Edelhart will say, "We came here together with a single goal, a unifying goal. Trust in all of us. You can trust in all of us."
With more people speaking, he was about to make a decision, but now he wants to hear from everyone as his eyes then finally glare to the last person who hasn't properly spoken at all. Making contact with you, Rajan. Already close because of the mummies. You feel the heat from his jaw as he closes, like an oven that's just been shut, and smoke slowly starting to come up from his nostrils. You knew about brass dragons. This one has gone through something in his past. You even see an very intense anger this close up with your passive insight.
I really want to punch holes in this thing, so
You can see sweat just like rolling down Johan's face as he's just hoping that everyone gets what he's doing and just goes with it. But let's find out.
Hang on, let me just move Sven back. There we go. There we go. All right. There. He goes. With that, I will return. And I'm going to do like a bowing motion and sort of like to sort of dissipate into shadowy scarabs. And I want to teleport over here somewhere.
Yeah, just in the shadows of the table.
Yeah.
As you sort of bamf, he instantly sort of clocks you. His large.
Sorry, I have to pay a focus point if I'm going to originate in the sun and teleport to a shadow.
There's little bits of shadows from where the sun isn't gleaming against the giant columns, the large statue. Don't worry about a focus point. That's fine.
Aw, what a sweetie.
His eyes do clock you. Dragons having an immense perception.
I think that we've come to an agreement then. I have more work to be done, so despite your offer, Crocodile, I have other places to be, and I will not take servants. I am not like Enkatop in that fashion. Do whatever you must do to teach your Lord, your Savior, the true righteous path. I will do the same with the free people of this land. Thank you all.
A sort of deep bow of his head, and avoiding the confrontation, with a gust of wind taking off, beginning to push each of you somewhat a foot or so. He then flies off into the distance far to the west, leaving you now with the empty courtyard, the statue of this actual child of Ankatop in front of you, and two doorways left and right of the giant statue leading into the Larynx's chamber.
Well, that was a shame. I
And,
was hoping I'd have a nice little dragon's head for my mantle.
We have not come here to claim a trophy for ourselves. We have come to win one for the Violet Mothers. Do not forget, do not allow your own emotions to blind you to what we have come here for. Again,
What are we
you are
creating?
muted in Discord. That's much better. Good. Yes, we have come to claim the larynx of Anketop. It is a dread lord. I do not understand why his larynx would be free from his body, but it is here somewhere contained within these walls, and it is for us to claim.
Yes. That was quick thinking. And as I'm sort of giving some praise, I'd like to remove a fingernail. And next chance I get, I want to sort of drop it into... let me just look at my notes because it says GM, but Sven's character, which I think was Johann's gear.
Johann.
It's a little token.
You also
That's
see...
really gross.
Okay,
Rajan, you
sorry.
also
I'll
see
say it again. Stealthily drop it in.
Where are you dropping it in?
As I go celebrate the very smart move of Johann, I would like to drop a nail into one of his bits of gear. And it's just a little eerie token.
Yeah, look, 100%. An eerie token. Give me a sleight of hand check, and we'll just need to beat the passive perception.
All good, all good.
I think for Johann, what was it, 17?
Edward.
So it's like a 50-50
It's 22
chance.
now.
Oh, true. Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check quickly.
28.
Yeah, perfect. Popping that
Son
down
of
in
a bitch.
there. Your passive perception, Rajan, also does notice that your shadow, here the entire time in case a combat occurs, moves from the column just here, north for a brief second, visible to this doorway before phasing through into the interior, attempting to search ahead for its creator.
Go, Shadow Rajan.
And bringing us back to all of you, we are where we are now. With your passive investigations, some of you being very attuned to the mechanisms of a place like this. You've been in a lair before, your mother's lair. You know that there are certain things that need to be done before you can move on. The table in front seems to be fairly bare. These burnt papyrus scrolls are of minimal use. You see the statue ahead with the giant diamond eyes, the symbols in its hand, the jackal face rising 300 feet may play some part to play, and the doorways in front would simply need to be tested. They are large stone slab doorways, so someone with a extreme strength may need to try to push them open.
Vidya sort of like cracks her fingers and steps up to the doorway, stretching. She's like, "Allow me. What would you like me to roll?"
Left
No,
or right
roll.
one?
Sorry?
Left or right doorway?
Ooh. Right.
Perfect. Making up to the right doorway, give me a athletics check, please.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to rage.
Yep.
So that I have advantage. And then I'm going to do my athletics check. I have a plus 13. Oh, and I got a nat 20, so that's a 33.
Excellent.
Well done.
With a natural 20, you actually save yourself quite a lot of hassle here. What occurs is the following. The large stone plate in front. How are you opening this with your immense strength? Just quickly, brief explanation.
I imagine with a natural 20, she doesn't open the door, she moves the entire building outwards.
I've got plans. I just want to know how she's attempting to do it. That way I can over-explain that. What's the
Well,
beginnings
I-
of this for?
An immovable rod. So what Vidya's plan would be, so she'd take out the immovable rod from her pack and wedge it in between the stone door and the gap in the wall. and then sort of use the almost like a crank to just get that door slightly open, and then use just her sheer strength just to absolutely push back this hulking piece of stone.
As you slam your foot on the immovable rod as it's in this crowbar position, impact frames begin to show one after another as the door cracks, flies inside, still in impact frames, slams against a small staircase from within, slams into the side wall, smashes into a light, dimming the room and darkening that corner there. And as it does, a second or two passes, and then woof, a large beam of what seems to be obsidian glass swings down with spikes across it, flying through the air, which would have most likely cracked into the nose, mouth, and eyes of anyone who would have went through that hallway there, triggering a trap as you just kick the door through the room.
Fucking whoops, she says, as she just fucking kicks the door in.
I guess we are not proceeding quietly.
Leslie's going to go check out the food in front of the statue.
100%, lovely.
Yeah, he wants to see, like, this food looks like nothing he's seen before. Can he do a check to see if it's edible?
Yeah, give me a nature check.
All right. Got a +4. Look at that. 15.
A 15. Look, a 15's not horrible. Taking a look across it, you see they definitely are. This is a different world. This is a different land. The domains of dread, each of them are usually grabbed from different universes brought into this one corner of the Shadowfell. Different gods deeming the land, the person, or the place too dark and too twisted to be in their universe, and so they don't want it anymore. These are the discarded remnants, Ravenloft. You don't recognize a lot of this. It's definitely not from the land you grew up from. Some things do look, however, to be coming from like similar plant lives. A version of an apple that seems to be blue, a version of an orange that seems to be yellow, a banana that comes into a complete circle. All of them do seem fairly edible and seem to be basic offerings here. Nothing looks poisoned, nothing smells poisoned as you look across it. Nothing's coated with any sort of weird sauces or.
Can we go back to this banana that looks like a full circle?
Yeah, well, Leslie's going to pick up the circular banana because he actually weighs 210 bananas. So he's going to pick one up and bring it with him.
Perfect. You don't know where to start peeling from.
That's what, like, where do you peel from? Where does it grow from? This honestly sounds amazing.
I think we'll investigate it later. I think we both are interested. So maybe we'll be like, guys, there's these round bananas. They're round. Where are we?
Just so you know, debriefing Strahd with Gemma is just going to be talking about round bananas from now on.
I was going to say, I derailed the session with round bananas. Anyway, continuing on from the...
A little tidbit, a little look behind the screen as well for those people at home. 210 bananas is the canon amount of bananas that Leslie from Duralis and Associates weighed. So when we put Leslie's weight into the character sheet, we actually Googled how much one banana weighs and found out how many pounds he would actually weigh. He weighs like
really
70
funny,
pounds and
no
about
idea,
31 kilo.
You see there that there seems to be about 4 bananas. Sorry.
Okay, so I'll be like, bananas, I'll just grab them and follow everybody.
Perfect.
And that's just over 1 pound of bananas.
All of you make your way towards this entrance way into the cavern itself. And within...
Before we enter, I'd just like to cast a spell on myself.
100%.
Ooh.
And I'd like to cast See Invisibility.
Perfect. I will reveal it, even though you're the only person that can see it. To your right, looking at all of you, you do see the shadow in the form of Rygen's silhouettes, currently staring at all of you ominously, waiting for you to enter, which you've now started to do as it begins to then turn north and glide across the floor.
If it's within 30 feet, I can see it too. Just
correct. You do notice the shadow as well, an echolocation diversion of it. But as all of you make your way inside, you see the staircase in a roughly 20-foot wide hallway. The staircase short itself, only about 4 steps, but currently now sitting there swinging mid-air, a large cross beam of obsidian glass that is now just hanging gently going back and forth. The trap already sprung. A goblet of fire sitting on the right side of the wall is now completely doused with just cinders of flame there and charcoal. And it turns left this hallway, going into another roughly 20-foot wide hallway around the corner.
Okay. Johan, I think, might actually cast a spell here as well. I believe he has a spell which allows him to conjure an invisible eyeball that he can use to see things. So I think it might be good if Johan casts whatever that spell is and has that eyeball. Arcane Eye, yes, I believe that's the one, and move it up and look around the corner before we actually go around the corner. I'd like to do just a general perception check, make sure there's no more traps and shit like that, because I'd like to not be cut in half by obsidian glass, please, if I have any.
100%. As the eye makes its way and moves up, you can look through it, correct?
Yeah, so I create an invisible, invulnerable eye within range that hovers for the duration. You mentally receive visual information from the eye. As a bonus action, I can move it up to 30 feet in any direction that the eye can pass through an opening as small as 1 inch in diameter, yeah.
You can decide what you'd like to do as the eye begins to get summoned in front of you. And all of you then eventually begin to take your first couple of steps towards the staircase, the trap that's already been sprung. A couple of things all begin occurring at once. This chamber seems to be fairly small. The eye is summoned in front, just about 5 feet away from you. Each of you at the staircase now ready to turn left in this hallway. The shadow, seen by 2 of our party members, begins to make its way through this then next hallway, this left turn. The left turn goes fairly straight for a longer distance before turning back left again, a circle of sorts, most likely coming to that other doorway that you saw from outside. However, there is another turn right in the center, both of these doorways leading to a single passageway forward. This right turn is about 20 feet away from all of you right now. And within, you can already see the contents of that room from that right turn. The right turn doesn't turn into a hallway, but instead into a tomb. You see jars, canopic jars, caskets, treasure chests, and the corner of a sarcophagus. However, the shadow begins to move forward as all of you move forward. Raijin's form, and as it takes its first step just here, a series of silhouetted figures, silhouetted instead in golden light, begin to form all along this center hallway in the staircase, and within the blink of an eye, fill about 15 arrows towards the shadow, who is going to make a dexterity saving throw. Bing, bang, boom.
Would you like me to roll, or are you rolling? Are you happy to roll?
I've got the stat sheet here. I managed to add it just quickly from Foundry, and dex saving throw is a fail, unfortunately, as it is going to take enough damage to instantly kill it as the 15 arrows fill the creature. What seems to be radiant light almost from these arrows as the shadow dissipates, and the arrows shortly after. Your arcane eye still floating, having not entered the space yet, or at least that first square, as this about 10 feet away from you is where it stepped onto, and the turn right is about another 20 feet away from that. So this little bit of an entranceway just before the tomb seems to be where this effect took place.
I would like to do a little investigation or perception check around the area where the shadow stepped onto to see if there's like a pressure plate or something that set off a trap. See what.
It'll be an investigation check. However, we're going to do 2024 rules here, so someone can help you with this, but they do need to have proficiency in investigation. Does anyone else have proficiency in that?
I've got expertise.
Oh, excellent.
No, sorry, Dan. We needed proficiency. That's
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Sorry, Dan. Damn cheater.
I'll pass it to you guys. It'll technically be better for you with your player rolls, but would Edelhart, with his arrogance, push forward and do the check instead? It means Johan would be helping him, but you would have a plus 17 rather than a plus 7.
I believe he would. I think for the same reasons that he cast enhance ability, he'd be like, no, don't worry, Johan. You sit back there with your spells.
As you attempt to help from the sidelines, but taking a knee down, his beautiful black locks across his chiseled jaw and elven ears pointing up. Give me a investigation check with advantage as Johan attempts to still assist here and there with his light voice.
A 36 too?
A 36. Yeah, a 36 do. You notice across the ceiling there is a 15 feet wide, filling pretty much the entirety of this left-turned hallway, and what seems to be equal distance from here, going another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 35, I've measured it actually, 35 feet to the complete equal side of this hallway to the other staircase, the left side entrance. You see across the ceiling faint markings in gold, and these markings in gold on the ceiling are radiating a aura of magic from them. There's artwork across the entire ceiling of hieroglyphics of Ankatop himself, the children, and his voice booming out to them, this obviously being the tomb of his larynx. But you notice that certain arcane symbols are very faintly painted on in this mural design in gold, and they're glowing with golden magic. This could probably be dismantled, this trap, but it wouldn't be with thieves' tools. It would more so be with something like dispel magic.
What's
Or
the
bust it open again.
see?
Should I just punch it?
No, I don't think this is a punchable thing. I think I can handle this one here. All right, taking a look at it. Am I having not really used dispel magic much? Am I able to ascertain what sort of level we would be looking at of a spell here?
Look, with a 36, 100%, it definitely is upcast. This is the tomb of the Dark Lord of this realm. It's like coming across an area that belongs to Strahd himself in Barovia. This trap itself would definitely, at minimum, need above a 3rd level dispel. This is... actually, what level is dispel magic? It's not a level 1 spell, is it? It's level...
I'm just looking now. I've got it in my 3rd level. I thought it was
3rd level.
Though.
No, that's okay, because I'm thinking at least a minimum 2. So if that's the case, if it's a 3rd level spell, it's at least needing a 5th level dispel magic to get rid of that.
And do I know 5th, or are we? Is that above table? We know that.
It's definitely above a 5th. You're not sure. You can risk it if you'd like to. You can go minimum a 5th and try to save your resources, or you can just spend as much as you want and caution to the wind.
I will go minimum 5th. So I've got a couple of other things up my sleeve if needed.
Okay, perfect. Minimum 5th. With a 5th level cast, it was higher. So, can you give me a spell ability check for you? So, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. So this will be for you an intelligence check, I think. To see if it is successful, as it was higher than a 5th level spell, this trap.
And while he's doing that roll, did you guys, are we going to go right through the end, or are we going to have a short break at some stage, because we've got 50 minutes of stream left?
If everyone's feeling good,
I'm good.
I would like to go straight through just to finish up this session.
Yeah,
Perfect.
sounds fine to
Awesome.
me.
I've got my hose hooked up anyway.
Sorry, I've got one extra thing as well with that
Yes.
proficiency. I get to add my proficiency bonus to a dispel magic check.
Hell
So
yeah!
I'd like to be 29. I knew there was
29.
something I had.
What gives you that, by the way, as well? Just
That's
to
a
check?
new Abdra
It's
wizard.
Spellbreaker.
Spellbreaker. Oh, dope. Yeah, 100%. As with a burst of magic from your hand, your magic begins to almost insert itself into the trap's magic like a virus, and then in one instant it shatters like glitter from the ceiling down, and it is gone. The hallway is clear. You can enter into the tomb.
Very impressive, Mr. Edelhart. You know, I cannot recall exactly what it is that brought you to the Violet Briars.
I'm so impressed with the Player's Handbook 2024 wizards. And then I'm going to use a magic action to do Cloak of Shadows and use 3 focus points where I become invisible, I become parts of the shadow, and I can move through objects as if they were difficult terrain. And yeah, I'll do that, and then I'm going to teleport across the floor to where I wish I'd be pinging, but I don't know how to ping. Is there a button for ping?
I'll ping for you, just there.
That's exactly where I was pinging. That is ridiculous.
I can see your mouse.
I was like, dude, you read my mind. We're so in sync right now, Christian. You and me, buddy.
Yeah, you and me, bro. You and me.
It's almost like Christian is True Sight or something. What's going on?
We're going to edit that shit out so no one knows.
Except anyone who's used Foundry before.
Sorry, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is this the key points and the shroud covering you? What's happening over here near the staircase?
I am.
Oh, by the way, inside here is now dim light as well, just so you know.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so while they're doing all that stuff, I literally just go into shadows and then teleport across to there.
Perfect. Can you give me a dexterity saving throw?
I would love to.
Dim light, you say?
I'm just going to use as many points as I can. Because this is a cool thing. I roll this, and let's say I roll bad like I did, and then I can spend 1 key point and I get to roll again. Whenever I fail a saving throw, I can pay 1 focus and re-roll.
What did you roll for the first one, though? I'll get you in a second, Sven, sorry.
I rolled a 17, but I didn't think it was high enough, so I just re-rolled and did a 32.
Okay, yeah, 32 is fine.
Level 20, monk.
Another of these obsidian beams swings down to the doorway here, the entranceway to this tomb, and you completely just matrix the entire beam, bending your body back into a less heroic of the matrix and more like your hands planting themselves behind you, like that's a possessed person in those horror movies crawling across the floor. Sven, what were you going to say?
Am I in dim light as well?
Everyone is in dim light at the moment.
All right, so Johan would like to pull out one of his paintbrushes out of his leather apron, and he'll turn to Edelhart and be like, "Yes, very impressive indeed. I don't suppose you will be needing me anymore." And he sort of starts painting himself with his own paintbrush as he steps back into the shadows of the dim light. And as he paints himself, he sort of starts to disappear, and he turns invisible.
Okay, lovely. So invisible when in dim light, is this what this ability is doing? As you paint yourself away?
Yeah. While within dim light or darkness, you can give yourself the invisible condition as a bonus action. The condition ends immediately after you take an action, a bonus action, or a reaction.
Okay. I do know that obviously Edelhart will still make eye contact with you, but the others do somewhat glaze past a bit, as his see invisibility is still active at the moment. His eyes glaring with that same virus-like magic that was on the arcane circle above. But
Leslie's really slow update, Christian.
Yep.
So Leslie's kind of ripping out one of his teeth and throwing into the room to do remote viewing.
As Leslie's
ripping off the fucking teeth and nails.
Anyway. Well, he's literally like, just watched all you guys. He doesn't know what's going on. He's very slow on uptake. You heard a bang.
And everyone's disappeared.
And he's like, I can help. So he rips out one of his canines and throws it into the room, and he does remote viewing, which is one of our special traits.
Remote viewing. Is this one of your
the hexblood
stuff? Yeah, it's eerie token. Yeah.
A hexblood from your
So-
lineage, one of your eerie tokens.
Yeah,
So
I can
you're like,
remove a
oh,
lock of
oh
hair,
guys, you
one nail."
tear out one of your teeth and then toss it into the room.
Yes. Yeah.
Blood pouring all over.
Rather than looking creepy like everyone else, this just looks like some hillbilly who's doing self-dentistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's what it's doing.
And then it allows you to what, see through it?
Yeah, it allows me to see like it's through my eyes. So I'm like, oh, the room's clear,
Perfect.
everyone. Good job.
So you throw it into there, it lands a
Blood
little bit
pouring out of my
past.
mouth.
It lands past Raijin, blood pouring out of your mouth, as you then see everyone else step up towards the tooth as they're now up to where the tooth landed.
Yep.
Raijin slowly
Excellent.
walks forward and grabs the tooth and throws it a bit further to help him out. Yeah, over
You
there.
see a little bit further into the room now.
There you
I'm
go.
Like, thanks, everyone.
As-
Thanks, because he's got a few teeth missing. He's done this a few times.
As each of you enter into the sarcophagi room. Oh my god, you're just gonna have
Sorry,
like
guys.
the
Can I
gummiest
just put this
Um,
up? We're all
wait,
like level
sorry,
20
Christian,
characters
the
doing
what
stuff.
room?
We're all using like
as
focus
each of you
points and
enter into
energy, and then Leslie's using teeth.
Christian, did you just call this the sarcophagi room?
The sarcophagi room, is that not their plural name? No?
I was like, we doing phrasing or what?
I thought sarcophagi was the plural for sarcophagus.
I thought that was
No, I think he's right. This is a sarcophagi room.
As you enter into this room, what is seen in the tomb is as follows. You see the sarcophagus to the left, which was visible from your entrance through the right hallway, but you now see three of them. One in the far left of the room, one at the back of the room, and one in the far right. More of those ornaments and gifts from other people here, scrolls that seem to be wrapped together, put into a ornamental chest. Other gifts and oils and things around you. Sarcophagi that seem to have the heads of animals, possibly pets that had their organs taken out to be then placed here with the larynx of Ankhetop, the divine god. Around the room there are many, many jewels, and from everyone, could I please get a perception check?
Yeah.
Is there any, like, in the sarcophagi room, is there any screaming eagles denoted on the walls or anything like that?
I got an 8.
We'll have a look in a second. There's more of those hieroglyphs, but it seems to be more of the same as the ceiling. All of the artwork here shows Ankhetop screaming or shouting at his followers. This is showing the power of his larynx alone.
Leslie rolled a
Leslie
crit.
Leslie got a what?
The crit.
A natural 20?
It's that
Yeah.
tooth.
It's the tooth, baby!
It's the tooth!
So we have a natural 20. I can see a 15 from Edelhard. What do we have for the other three?
A 23.
13.
8.
Leslie
I'm
only
in
has a
that
+1, so he only got 21.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Vidya, as you take a couple of steps inside, there's some hieroglyphics on the ground. It's pointless. You can see there's some hieroglyphics on the center tablet, not on the left or right. Pointless. You begin looking around for something that actually is useful. With the 23, that was Raijin?
Yep.
Raijin, you notice the same things that were just completely unknown by Vidya, but the importance of it. You see that the other two do not have hieroglyphics on them. They have writings of a sort, but writings you can read in common. The hieroglyphics on the center one, however, seem to be several symbols of importance. Taking a look at them, each of them is painted in a beautiful royal purple, the only purple in this entire room. You see that they are the symbols for a man. Underneath that, eyes. Underneath that, a sun. And underneath that, an archway. The slight difference, however, is you do notice that the man does have the symbol of a dog for its head. A man with a dog head, eyes, a sun, and an archway. You're not sure the meaning of that just yet, but it stands out due to its color, the uniqueness of it in the rest of this room.
Yo,
With a natural
guys,
20.
we came all the way in here and it's fucking outside.
With a natural
What's funny
20,
is
Leslie,
you
with
only
your
got
tooth.
a 21, Christian. Yeah.
No,
Two.
that's fine. A natural 20 is still going to be a critical success in this situation. Your tooth
Right.
lands, and as it was tossed, it cracked off of the floor and then jammed itself up in the ceiling, where there are statues, 4 of them, hanging from the ceiling. giant scarab beetles that seem to be clung into and built into the ceiling itself. It's beautiful. It's adding a three-dimensional look to the structure itself. You then see there are sprinklings of gold coins all across the floor. From your tooth, as you're still looking through it, you're trying to like look at yourself walking into the room. It's like staring at a camera when you're entering Big W and watching yourself enter Big W. As you're doing that, looking at this entire sarcophagi room, you see several of the coins begin crawling across the floor on insect legs, very slowly, very subtly. You notice a couple of other of them seem to be resting in piles together, almost like they're sleeping in groups. Not piles of coins, but beds full of little scarab beetles. You see the four things on the ceiling as well, the faint shimmering, and you even hear, as you hear through your tooth, the sound of faint vibrations, the snorings of the giant scarab beetles that are clung to the ceiling. You've all been fairly
they're
simple
big
so
U's.
far.
Big U's. Yeah. Because Rajan's currently a scarab beetle, isn't he?
Correct. No one's done anything too chaotic in here yet, in this room,
No.
but you are surrounded by hundreds of small little gold coin scarab beetles and 4 gigantic scarab beetles on the ceiling. And I'll reveal those for us now.
When you said that, Christian, you sounded almost surprised that no one had done anything stupid. Was that a targeted comment at any of your players, or was that just
Nah, you're fine. I know what you're talking about.
I resemble that remark.
So, Rajan, you're up at the sarcophagi, and the rest of you are still near the entrance somewhat. Or actually, you've probably stepped past with your boredom video. And that's where I'll put the tokens for now. And as Leslie
I'm
calls
up looking
out,
at my tooth, which is in the middle, isn't it? Yeah, I'm looking at
correct.
Yeah.
You seem to be shaking, dear boy. What do you see?
There's big Rajans on the roof.
Big Rajans.
Yeah, Rajan's head.
You see
His head.
4 giant statues of scarab beetles, adding beauty to the decor.
More of these things meant to dissuade us from taking what is rightfully ours. Everyone should.
Oh, so the gold's ours. The gold's ours then. Can I take that?
No, please do not keep your hands to yourself.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Take whatever you like. I'm sure there's nothing wrong. As he begins to back out of the room.
Leslie doesn't like that at all. So he's going to walk over and look closer at the things on the floor. I'll be like, are they moving? Can anyone see that?
You take a look. As it's mentioned now, are they moving? And you kneel down to one of the piles of gold. Each of you with your passive perceptions, as long as they're higher than a 12, you notice the same thing. Little bits of movement from the gold coins on the ground. And as the silence begins to settle, as all of you are studying them on the ground, you all now hear what was heard through the tooth, that faint thrumming of the wings settling into place, every so often left, right, center, from the giant beetles on the ceiling.
I think I would like to, again, do another perception check around this room. You mentioned there were 3 sarcophagi, each a magnificent royal purple, the one in the center being different from the others.
They're all
is there anything
normal
here?
sarcophagi, gold and blues. The one in the center is the only one that has purple writing on it with those hieroglyphs.
Mhm.
That's the main thing that stood out.
Okay.
The hieroglyphs on the center of the sarcophagi.
Yeah.
Can I try and read that writing?
Yeah. The sarcophagi symbols are fairly simple, but trying to translate it, a language that is unique to Ankatop in this domain of dread, it'll be a flat intelligence check, similar to solving a puzzle.
Flight intelligence check. Okay. Let me just quickly bring that up on the old character sheet. Guild. Yeah, pretty sure that's what it is. Oh no. Yes. Sorry, I'm not usually doing this on my phone. We'll go ability saves and Jawnski's intelligence. Where are you? There you are. All right. Boom source. Not high. It's 12.
12. The symbols seem to be what they are. You're not sure what it reads. Hieroglyphics are meant to usually be fairly straightforward, so there might not be too much of a reason to overthink it. A man with a dog's head, a pair of eyes, a sun, and then an archway. You feel like you've already seen some of these symbols before.
We have seen a man with the dog's heads, the statue on the way in, a pair of eyes, perhaps the diamonds that we saw embedded within it. The sun is, I cannot think. And an archway? This is beyond me.
Oh, damn it.
Leslie?
Great knows the answer. Is this like that Indiana Jones one where it needs to sort of like bounce off the diamonds onto something? Oh, fuck. I hate it when your character's so dumb. So dumb. And you're like, there's no way they'd think of this shit.
Is there anything to that, actually? Now that she mentions it, is there anything to that? Would that be, because I can't see the map, is that a viable thing? We got the diamonds. We've seen the statue. We've seen the diamonds in its eyes.
Through the hallways, there was those large obsidian knockers. Obsidian glass being something that does reflect light.
Oh.
And there's one in the main staircase, and then one in the left and right staircase leading up into this place, perfectly at all of the intersections.
I think Grace deserves a point of heroic inspiration for that.
I think she does.
I think that Barbie Fairytopia should get the credit for that. Because I don't know why. It reminded me of the scene where the fucking Laverna gets all the guardians to sit in the chair and she throws the necklace at the intersection and saves Fairytopia. So,
Well, the intersection is missing 100%. Take your inspiration, but the intersection obviously needs to be connected. The eyes are outside. You need to get the light from them, from the sun, inside somehow. The room is still filled with jewels and chests.
Am I able to teleport to go open this door up over here?
Oh, the right door? Sorry, the left door?
Oh, wait, hang on. Nobody said this shit out loud. Okay, no, that's metagaming. Sorry.
No, look,
Yes.
I'm fine for that stuff to have been spoken out. I do know that Sven was role-playing a bit of it, and Vidya, I think, honestly would think say what she's thinking, like ADHD.
Yeah,
Is that
very
correct to assume, Grace?
Yeah, I think she
So you're fine.
probably look around and put two and two together and sort of go, that other door, I feel like it needs to be opened.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a
And shadow step.
teleport of magic and another shadow step of magic,
Yeah,
dodging
they're
the
free.
staircase.
Listen, do like
Need
6
a
shadow
tooth?
steps there. It's like they're
Need
free.
a
So
tooth?
like,
No,
yeah,
we
actually,
don't
I take the
need
tooth
to.
with me. My lucky tooth.
As you take the tooth with you, you get to the doorway. It does still need to be opened with that immense strength, and you are realizing that to connect to the sunlight as well, someone will need to trigger that trap just there and survive it.
I will
Oh,
open the door.
I will trigger the trap.
Sounds good.
Yes.
I'm still invisible,
Someone
so I say,
other than me.
I hold up the
should,
tooth and I say,
trigger it.
hold up the tooth and I say, hold, I will trigger the trap. And I walk out and do a shindig in the middle of the trap range.
Okay, 100%. A vroom, same as expected, large black beam swings towards you. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Now, I'll give you a dex save, but I actually wanted to get a feeling for this. When I'm in this form, it says I can pass through objects as long as I don't end up in them. I'm literally shadows right now. So I think I have to end that situation and just trigger it.
Don't worry about the dex save. This is an object. It's not a... Oh, look, actually, blades would still hit you because you take resistance damage from that.
That's all right.
We're going to say you take resistance damage from the trap. And look, what I will give you, because 29. This is an object, I would give you advantage, but look, a 29 is a pass. Yeah, as it swings down, it begins to phase through you, and you strengthen the shadow form for a second, the torch on the wall flickering as you almost draw upon the darkness of this entire tomb to your location for a brief second, and it phases through you completely, wafting in the air, swinging back, and then you make your way to the doorway to open it. As you're opening the doorway, we'll just say that that takes a little bit of time. What I would like to see is from some of the other people. We see some magic from Johan studying the room. We've seen the tooth doing quite a lot from Leslie. More than I was expecting.
He's ready to pull out another. He's like starting to loosen, one of the back ones.
And then we'll go to Vidya first, and then we'll jump to Edelhart, just quickly to see what last two members are doing. Confidently walking into the room, failing that perception check, but now seeing the dangers around you from your compatriots. You don't want to trigger them. You need to prove yourself more capable than all these others to your parents, your mothers. But what would you like to do? You still see riches around the room that you could bring back to your mothers.
I think she wants to open that other door. I think she's pretty set on getting that larynx. Like, I guess she's sort of on the same path as her friend Johan, and like really just wanting to get this over with.
I'm really getting from Vidya there's nothing else that's important. That's the most important thing in your life right now, completing the mission. Lovely. Marching past and storming your way there. You assist with that. We'll say that it takes half the time, and you guys begin getting ready to head out and work out a way to connect this light inside. What is Edelhard doing as he enters the sarcophagi room?
Well, knowing that they're trying to get the light to this obsidian that's here, I would... So we've got the dog head, the eyes, the sun, the arch. I'm going to look inside this room to see where we're trying to connect these points to.
Yeah, 100%. Give me, as you begin to study the room, looking for in this room where the obsidian is meant to connect to, give me an investigation check. A 27, lovely. With a 27, studying the room in its entirety, you do see some of the chests filled with some interesting things. Your eyes pick up magic seeming to scroll themselves across one of the scrolls in the chest just here. You see a sword that definitely has magical runes carved in hieroglyphics across it, leaning against the chest just here. Some items that look real, not trapped, and useful if you wanted them. A scroll and a sword. But you noticed what you were looking for finally, the center sarcophagi, yet again. The eyes on this one depicting the form of Enketop himself. When he was in his human state, that is, are also diamonds, exactly like the jackals outside.
So I'm just thinking that must be the end point then. The items I'll earmark for later. Even though you didn't say they weren't trapped, I think it'll still just be one of those ones where it's like they might not be trapped, but they might something that's like it's that dependency sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like they might. So then, from the eyes here to get to the obsidian, like, is there a? It doesn't look like it's a direct path. So there's something in between there.
No, there is a direct path. You've got the eyes to here, then leading south, we've got the first main staircase, and then at a roughly 90-degree angle, I guess no, this would be around 75-degree angle. It can hit both of the left and right staircases, this center staircase.
So that center staircase has obsidian in it?
Correct. This one was trapped by Raijin when he teleported in. So there's one here. There's one on each of the left and right staircases, and then there's the eyes of the jackal statue. All that's needed is a single connecting piece at either doorway, left and right, to connect to the staircases from the jackal statue.
Okay, so in that case, you said that there was jewels and coins on the ground.
Everywhere.
Is there any jewels that I would imagine can reflect or light.
Yeah, there's bowls of gold that in them hold the dust of fruit that probably once was there thousands of years ago. There's goblets, there's shields of iron that's begin to rust it away somewhat. Many things that could be used to reflect the metal.
So I'd like to grab 2 of those, maybe the shields, because that kind of makes it seem a bit more appropriate. With the goal of maybe trying to affix them on these pillars here.
Perfect, 100%. Making your way outside, as the other 2 have already arrived now, studying the statue and affixing these. We'll do it to expedite tonight so that we can get to the final part of tonight's session. With some teamwork and help from our more muscular members of the party, Leslie and Vidya at either of the columns are fixing the shields to the walls using the intelligence of our other compatriots with Edelhart and Johan, at either of them assisting the muscleheads. The shields are affixed to where we think is the correct angle. Light begins shining down at them, but it's not bright enough. Within, Raijin notices that it still isn't doing anything. Something more is needed. With your passive investigation, and again to expedite it with a bit of time, what is noticed is there's more light required. And can I please get from everyone a investigation check, as we seem to be missing something, one final piece.
I think it's got to do with the statue.
Oh my god, it's that light I fucking smashed, isn't it?
Edelhart.
Nat 20!
Nat 20? Crazy.
So
So we have a nat 20.
I want Edelhart to do it. I want to give my nat 20 to Edelhart.
With Edelhart. Do we have any other... What were our other ones quickly? The other 3?
13.
23.
7.
Perfect. Vidya just here for the lols. Yeah, look. Raijin, Johan, and Edelhart all noticed the same thing. Magic Raijin seems to be wisping around something. You feel the magic almost trying to point you to the direction of underneath its pinky toe on its left foot. Then approaching Edelhart and Johan together, look underneath from either side, and under the pinky toe, written in an invisible ink, visible thanks to both of your sight of seeing things that are invisible, is a script. The script itself says, "The fire shows me the truth." With a 31 and a natural 20, it is crazy. Yet reading it back out, Johan, both of you leaning down here at the moment, looking at the pinky toe, look up. The eyes of this jackal statue, the edges of those crystal seem to be scorched, the stone having black markings around the pure diamonds.
It would appear there is one last piece of this puzzle still missing. Can I cast perhaps some kind of magic spell, which I may or may not have in my spell repertoire? Perhaps a sorcerer's blast with fire
and a firebolt from Edelhart. Both of you firing up. Can I get an attack roll from yourself, Johan? And I have one here with a firebolt from Edelhard as virus magic connects, then self-combusting into fire as you try to control your own power, Edelhard. You're too strong for your own gorgeous self. And then in the opposite sides, shadowy magic beginning to drip into a black-like flame from your compatriot to the side. What's the attack roll from yourself, Johan? I see a 24 from Edelhard.
23 from Johan Aldori.
Excellent. On the mark for both of you, crack and crack, the eyes ignite, lighting on fire for a brief second, an arcane magic built into them themselves. The light then shining from the shields connects, ting, 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 before it finally reaches all the way to Raijin inside the chamber, filling the chamber now with bright light, cursing away your shadowy form. A rumbling occurs as each of you make your way through the hallways back into the chamber beside Raijin, finding the sarcophagi of Anketop, now vertical against the back wall, and where it was, as it has slid up into a upright position, a staircase leading further down.
Do you still have that tooth, my boy?
Rajan had it. Rajan had it.
I
can
take
get you- hang on,
I
I've got
take the
another-
tooth out of my mouth because I put it into a slot
we
from
do
one of
not
my
have,
teeth.
we do not have very good dental policy at Violet Briar. Please, no more teeth. Just we can recycle.
I just pulled this one out.
Please. Okay, all right. Everyone, throw a tooth down the hole if you wish to throw it. Just be sure pick them up again when we get down.
I think
Whoever wants
Rajan's
to, we
got
hear the ting, 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 as we have a coin race of teeth going down the staircase.
Perfect.
What the teeth see themselves is the following. The staircase ends after a long period of time, hundreds of feet going down and down, and the final tooth, thanks to the competitive, muscled throw behind it, Vidya's reaching the bottom. Vidya, your tooth sees a shadowy, dark area with faint light spilling in naturally from the ceiling above, a giant cavern, 300 feet high, 300 feet wide. A single passageway is built into the center, leading to a back wall that seems to be the front of a palace, the entryway to a palace, this back wall of this chamber. You see standing here already at attention, built into the sand, two gigantic statues facing towards the bridge, each of them with a jackal's head, the same as what was out here, sitting in sand beside this main passageway. And that seems to be it, this passageway leading to the front of a temple. I'll drag us now to said map and explain what occurs as you begin to make your way down the staircase. You all can tell me, however, if there's anything you would like to do as you're walking down. It does take a couple minutes to make your way down this flight of stairs. Is there anything
I'm trying to
does?
peel one of the circular bananas.
Excellent, excellent. You can have one temporary hit point as you eat on the.
Oh, thank you.
Rajan's not invested in the banana, but Mod is 100% invested in how this banana thing unveils.
Yeah. Look, give me with advantage from the help action a nature check. We're going to study the plant life, the flora of Har
yes.
Akir.
Everyone loves nature.
Nature is fun.
That's a 16.
A 16, lovely. Look, with a 16, you notice that the banana itself has no entryways for a stem. These things just seem to naturally self-grow. What you do notice, however, is the bottom side of it has the faintest minuscule-sized barnacles. Like these things seem to just grow in the water. Like fish eggs almost.
Very interesting.
Interesting. While they're looking at banana donuts, I'm going to cast a spell.
100%. What are you casting?
Don't worry about it.
No. That ain't the way this works when you're in the player seat.
I will.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Tell you what, Kristen, I'll send you a message of what I'm casting. All right?
Okay. No. Where do you think you're going?
Well, wait. I was attacking. I was moving forward.
Message.
You're back with the party, and let's bring everyone to here as we see this side. Oh, actually, Mod, Mr. Producer, how far zoomed out is this map? Because you can probably zoom out and show the entire map for what's to come.
Okay, let's have a look.
I'll bring us to the center. But if you want to make sure that the
Yeah, I
entire
can
map
see
is
the giant
somewhat visible.
gateways.
Lovely. The sand trickling down for this lovely animated map.
It's beautiful.
Okay, message sent. Are there anything that Edelhart or Rajan are doing quickly before we come to the end of tonight?
So you know what? I'm not going to cast a spell. I am going to cast a spell, but I'm going to cast a different spell. I'm going to cast something called true seeing. Is there anyone who would like to see everything?
Me.
I don't think Leslie could handle it.
All right. I'm going to cast True Seeing. I'm going to cast True Seeing on Grace's character, Vidya.
Yay.
Okay. Vidya, instantly as your eyes adjust to the room around you, a couple of things do become noticeable as shit is about to hit the fan.
Love
Raijin,
that.
before shit hits the fan, what is your character doing?
Raijin knows that we need to get shit done. So he's starting to walk forward. Like he's like, Mistress, I will get this larynx for you, and just starts walking forward. He's very excited on the idea of the kill. He's already been denied 1 kill of a dragon, so he walks forward, eager while everyone's setting up.
Okay, 100%.
And he is readjusting all his magical knuckles with hag insignia all over them for all of his 3 hands.
Vidya, as the magic from your blind compatriot covers your eyes, a shawl of its own, cloth covering your face, but the cloth magic. Seeing through it, the statues you notice are covered in golden ribbons of enchanting magic. Each of them you see patiently waiting, and as your companion begins to step forward, you see the faint droppings of sand and rubble as gigantic fists begin to move towards your friend on the bridge, your companion at least. As these fists are flying towards the bridge, at the far end of this entire hallway, hidden in invisibility, currently by the rest of your party. Actually, no, the map is showing everything for the viewers at home. Hidden by invisibility to everyone other than you and the distance, probably Edelhart as well right now, but I will reveal it for all the party. You see a figure not unlike that of Johann at the moment. A figure standing about 13 feet high, tall for its own right. A skeletal form of a humanoid frame, decorated in beautiful golden, blue, and white tapestries, and the skull of a jackal's head, now long dead, one of the children of Anketop, Nekten Ebo, the Lord of Jackals. Can you give me Can you give me a perception check, please?
Sure. It's not gonna be good. Oh, I got a 16.
A 16. You notice that his entire body is mummified, bones, dust, and now somewhat discolored cloth. However, there is a fleshy, saliva-covered larynx in his throat. A voice then calls out to all of you. Finally! Talking over each other. You need to rush. No, stay back. No, we are in agreement as they join in unison. Anketepot has noticed our intrusion. You have not long, I would say 12 seconds. Retrieve the larynx and get out now. You can do so by joining hands. How fortuitous of a family. Do it now, Thorns. As the voices disconnect. You're going to go into combat. If you do need to leave, Gem, that's completely fine. But we're going to do 2 rounds of combat. And only 2 rounds, and you need to get the larynx within those 2 rounds. Doesn't mean you need to kill Nektenabo, but you need to retrieve the larynx within his throat within 2 rounds. A surprise round is going to quickly occur now. I'll try not to waste too much time. 2 slamming fists are going to fly down towards Raijin. We have a 35 to hit and a 28 to hit.
What was the second one?
28.
They both hit?
Okay. Each would push you 20 feet away from it, but they both hit you in either direction as you're just crushed in the center. One is going to deal 33 points of bludgeoning damage. So I think that's halved for you, right?
It is halved for me. Are they both happening at the same time?
No, 2 separate instances of damage.
Okay, well, I'm
Just
going to risk
technically
it,
happening
and I'm going
at
to
the same-
deflect the next attack.
A very good idea, as the next one was a natural 20 for a total of 67 bludgeoning damage.
Perfect.
So
Wanna do
halving
this?
that first of all, 67 is going to go down to 33, and then you can furthermore deflect that second fist.
You said down to 33?
So it's down to 33 at the moment. How much
I
are you
reduce
taking
it
off of that?
28, so I take 5 and whatever the other one was.
Perfect. 5 and technically 16 is what you're actually taking. So a total of 21 points of actual damage. And if you can all please roll for initiative.
Yay!
Shit.
I will add in your initiatives once they're done.
rolls for initiative.
Let me know once
16.
you've rolled them. 16? Okay, I'll edit that here.
22.
I got 20, but I've got advantage, so I'm going to roll again.
Yeah, 100%. What did you get, Grace?
15.
15. And Leslie, with your advantage?
20.
20, no problem. It's still
Not
a
a
high
natural
roll
20,
before
but a 20.
any of the bad
Yeah.
guys. As we have 2 of these jackal colossuses, and then Nectanebo, the lord of jackals at the far end here. We will begin combat. So like I said, objective isn't winning right now, but you can do whatever you want to. The objective is that larynx, and within 2 rounds, you need to all be touching each other within 5 feet of one another. Raijin, you are up first.
Sorry, Christian, just with
yeah.
my Boots of the Vigilant to add a d8 to my initiative roll. So I will not be
100%.
last, I'll be second last.
What did you get in total?
Total is 7.
7, perfect. Yeah, that does put you above this last Colossus. Okay, awesome. Yeah, Raijin, you were already moving forward. You've crushed by a couple of the fists, but you're now the closest to Nectanebo. What would you like to do?
Perfect. I would like to... so the larynx is with the guy I'm attempting to ping here, correct?
Yep.
Correct. The guy at the end. Although, can you give me... Oh, this is going to be the difficult thing. Look, I would say seeing it, either Edelhart or Vidya would call out where he is, but you do not see him. He is invisible at the moment.
All right.
So you can go for it, you can try to do stuff, but it's going to have disadvantage until either someone removes his invisibility or you gain the ability to see invisibility. Yeah, seeing invisibility was actually a really niche thing there, Sven. So
Thank you. It's almost like I've done this before.
If
we have
anyone
3
has the
out of our
alert
5 party
feature,
members.
feel free to take over. Because I'm currently looking, because I'm actually pretty sure that I've got See Invisible somewhere here. I just have a lot.
Is it level 20? There's a lot to go through.
Wait, who has remote viewing? Oh, sorry, who
I
has
do.
See Invisibility?
See invisibility is cast on Edelhart by himself at the moment.
Yes, he has See Invisibility. I've got True Sight to 30 feet, and Vidya should have True Sight to 120 feet.
Damn, I cannot find this thing that I know that I have. Well, I guess if I can't see... Did you say that somebody's yelling it out?
Yeah. Someone's yelling it out, and look, even if you can't get the throat, you still know you all need to be where it's going to be grabbed, so you all need to be here. Because if you're not going to be able to leave. You need to be touching each other. So no matter what, you need to get there, and it's up to you what else you would like to do for your turn.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so where is he? And I call that out, hoping for a response very quickly.
I would say,
And I'm sure Vidya tells you where it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, right ahead.
Straight ahead, in front of the door.
In front of the door. Excellent. I will teleport to the door. I'll shadow teleport to the door, which gives me
now that we're getting
advantage.
into specifics of combat, how far can you shadow teleport?
60 feet.
Perfect. You can't teleport behind him because you would collide with his body, but you can definitely teleport right here. I'd even say behind, so that you're not in the road of allies. You try to go in that square 60 feet, but you feel yourself junted to the side, with if anything helps you realize where he is.
Awesome. Do I need to take damage for the shunt, or is that cool?
No, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, as part of that bonus action teleport, I get to make an attack with advantage, which I think
Perfect. Cancelling out the disadvantage, so flat roll, please.
Then I will roll my unarmed attack, which is like yonder. Oh, that's a nat 1. That's not good.
As you slam a punch towards Naktenebo, you feel a crack from some sort of a metal instrument across the side of your chin, knocking you off balance. No damage or anything like that. He's... If anything, this was more just emotional hurt for you. A chuckle from him in his necromantic throat.
None shall come over and get a pot.
Oh, this is good. Okay, cool. Oh shit, that's as a bonus action, not. I've got a really cool item called the Commander's Tome, but it requires a bonus action, which I don't have anymore. In that case, I will just go attacking with my attack action.
Yeah, give me 2 more punches. Bam, bam.
Bam, bam. Okay. Action. That'll be 29 to hit.
29 is a hit.
23 to hit.
And 23 is also a hit, yeah.
So that is a 15 and a 20, so 35 force damage.
Okay.
That'll be the end of my
25
turn.
force damage as his health chunks down the slightest bit on our Dark Souls boss bar.
Oh yes.
That brings us to the end of your turn. On the end of your turn, I'm going to make them as speedy as I can. And if you guys can be prepared for your turns, that way these 2 rounds go by quickly. I don't want to take up too much of tonight for those that are staying for the entirety of these 2 rounds of combat. But there's going to be 3 legendary actions going off. Both of the Jackal's eyes of diamonds are going to glow and shoot radiant light. And then Nektebo is going to swing with his glaive, as there's going to be 3 legendary actions before Leslie's turn. One of the radiant rays is going to fire towards Edel. Edel, that is going to be a 27 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
Dealing 33 radiant damage. If you can apply that, please. There's then going to be a beam shooting at Leslie from their eyes. That is a 27 to hit Leslie as well.
Yeah, that's got it.
And 29 points of radiant damage.
Yeah.
And then the cleaving rend is going to come towards yourself, Rajan, for a advantage 23 to hit.
That misses.
Whoa! You feel wind gliding towards you, and at the last second, meld into the shadows and disappear onto the other side of it. Your body and neck snapping back into place as you manage to just dodge out of the way. That's going to bring us down. Leslie, your turn.
Right, so Leslie is going, he's got 30 feet of movement, so he's going to move up 30 feet. Then
5,
he's going
10,
to...
15, 20, 25, 30, yep.
Yep, he's going to use his movement, one of his actions to move another 30 feet.
5,
But
10,
then he's
15,
going to
20,
action...
25, 30.
Yep, he's going to action surge.
Mhm.
And then he's going to use his... I'm trying to find it in here. Where's my action surge? Then he's going to use his action, because his spear reaches 20 feet. He's going to swing out towards where he thinks...
Nektebo.
Where Nektebo is.
Nektebo is 100% Lord of Jackals as you go to a stab for him with your incredible reach. Give me a attack roll.
Yep. That's a nat 1. But
my god.
hang on a
We're
minute.
doing well
I
within
do
that
have some
ones.
cool stuff. Give me a sec.
You do. I can help you a little bit here. I know that you
Yeah.
do have Indomitable as a champion
Yes.
fighter, which does allow you 3 times per day to just flat out re-roll. It says saving throws. Let's see some other stuff. You do have Tactical Master. Let's have a look at some of the stuff here.
You have heroic inspiration you can use straight up.
You
Oh, yeah, I do
heroic
have heroic
inspiration.
Out of every
Inspiration.
turn.
Yeah, at the start of
Tactical
every turn,
mind
I get
ability
heroic
checks. You've got so
inspiration.
many ways of improving things. Yeah,
Yeah,
you also
so
have
I'm still
Heroic Warrior, by
learning.
the way. So Heroic Warrior, chew through your heroic inspiration. Use them all the time. You get heroic inspiration at the start of every turn.
Okay. Well, then, yes.
So
I
not the
will-
start of
I will
combat,
use
the
that.
start of every single turn in combat.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. So yeah, give me another reroll.
Yep.
Well, your heroic inspiration, rather than being heroic, I feel like it's your luck. So you were about to slip. Instead, what do we get for the actual attack roll?
26.
26, yeah. 26 hits, roll damage.
Yep.
It's like,
And then,
Okay.
because I'm going to be hitting with both hands, I'm going to do 1d8 plus 6.
Yeah, 100%,
So
double-handed.
I'll roll a d8.
You're just holding that shaft and go to town.
Yep.
that's
I
what she
think I rolled a
said.
d8. I can't tell what these are all the time. It's a 7 plus 6. So that is 13.
15, right? 13.
I
13.
don't know.
Yeah,
7
you're
plus
right,
6.
you're right. 13. I was wrong.
13.
Um,
Yep.
So 5 there, so 2, 8, 5. Bam.
And he gets
and-
2d6s of fire damage each time as well.
Oh, perfect. Now, you are a level 20 fighter, so Action Surge has
Yep.
meant now that you're going to be making 3 attacks this turn. So can you do 2 more attack rolls quickly? We'll try to get through them
Yep.
in
Yep.
a
So
steady
I've just
pace.
added
So
another 5 of heat damage to the 13, so that's 18.
5 more, 100%.
Yep, 1d8 plus 6.
I'm happy
Roll.
to retcon that. We'll get back to it in a second, though, Mod, once this turn's
Yep.
done.
So 6 plus 6 is 12. And then. Sorry, that's annoying.
Oh, what was the hit, sorry, for that attack?
Roll
Oh,
the-
sorry, I have to hit again.
Yeah. All 3 attacks need to hit
Okay.
and then do damage.
28.
Yeah. Okay, so we had 6 and a 6, so 12
Yep.
damage for the next one. And then
Yep.
the final one.
Yep. I need to do the flame as well, don't I?
Yes. 2d6 for that.
Yep, okay.
Chewing
Yep,
through
so
as
do-
there's just sparks of flames flying off of, as far as
2d6
you
and
can see,
1d8.
just nothing.
So I got 18, and then there's one more to hit. So I'll do
yeah.
my. I got 24.
That hits, and damage for the final one.
Yep. 2d6. So let me do it. 1d8. 13 plus 6.
Okay. 19
So
points of
19.
damage, so that's going to...
Also, when I roll an 18 or higher, it gives me a crit
Hell yeah.
Did you?
on a
that
d20.
turn?
I don't
Just
think
checking.
I did.
Okay.
No, because I only rolled.
It would have automatically allowed you to roll crit as well, I think, which you would have noticed.
Probably. Yeah, so that's
2,
my go done. But then do I get a bonus action where I can hit it again?
No, yeah, you do get a bonus action because Action Surge is a special action, but dealing nearly 60 damage with those 3 attacks as you see flecks of the invisible magic
damn.
around Nectanabo scorching as bones burn to ash and dust.
Yes.
That brings us to your bonus action. Anything important?
Slap it.
I can get second wind. You can move up half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Second wind, does that mean that I can do anything to it?
No.
you ain't-
So
You will. You're not missing any hit points, so you're not going to get extra hit points. But
Oh no, I am
tactical
actually. I
shift-
got attacked.
You did?
Yeah. So I'm down to 176.
Oh, you're not missing it on Foundry. Okay, well look, it's going to heal you
Yep.
that damage, and Tactical Shift, which is part of your second wind as a champion
Yep.
with level 20, allows you to move as well. So you would be able to get
Okay.
all the way up to Raijin, ready for the
Yeah.
group hug.
Yeah, I'll stand right next to Rajan, please, and I'll
Perfect.
roll 1d10.
Hell yeah.
Sprinting
And-
as you just jab, sprinting continuously as you attack. Movement not halted for a single beat. You dash 100 feet while attacking the entire time.
Nice.
Despite as silly as you may feel, there's a reason your siblings now see that you're known as a folk hero.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
my luck.
Hell yeah.
That
It
brings
really
us
is luck.
Everyone
got
come
29
here,
points
rip
back,
him to
everyone as well.
shreds.
now, Raijin, a second shadowy fist comes from the shadow of your own body, connecting with the chest of Nectanebo. We forgot, and I'm happy to retcon it, about your stunning strike. Would you like to use a key point for that?
Yes, I would, and it's only once per turn, and the DC, it's a con save, and it's 21.
You feel it connect.
No, Unketapot, bless me!
As you feel a surge of magical energy around
Hell
from
yeah.
him. And he's going to use a legendary resistance to not be stunned, as
And-
that he failed.
And here's one cool thing about this. I actually didn't know this till I just read it. On a successful save, the target's speed is halved, and the next attack roll made against them has advantage. So
Perfect.
even
Because
if it
we didn't
saves,
give that with Leslie's, I will allow the next attack roll to have advantage.
Oh, that's right. I was going to
So-
say, since the retcon, we could say that happened with Leslie, so that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, well, actually, you rolled with advantage anyway for one of the attacks. So, look, that's fine. We'll move on to the Colossus's turn, try to speed through this. The Colossus, before its turn, we're going to have another 3 legendary actions, 2 more beams of light, 1 more swing with the glaive. So we'll quickly speed through those. One of the beams of diamond light is going to shoot down, this time at Vidya. It is going to be a 32 to hit Vidya.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
37 radiant damage. One of them is going to fly down at Johan for a 20 to hit Rohan.
Oh, wait, you're hitting me? Yes, I have an armor class of 18.
Okay, 20 hits for a total of 38 radiant damage to Johan.
38 radiant damage. Yes, can I take a reaction, please?
100%. What's happening?
As a reaction to taking damage, I would like to Misty Step.
Oh.
And I
It's
can
30
Misty
feet?
Step. Trying to find that now. Misty Step. One action, self. That's not the right
Misty
spell.
Step, yeah.
I've got the wrong
Misty
one.
Step is 30 feet. I looked at the spell, so if it doesn't specify a different range, it's just the default range. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm guessing you're wanting to head towards everyone else for that regroup.
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect, 100%. So you move along the bridge, in between now, directly in between the 2 gigantic jackal statues. Is there anything else that happens, or is it just the teleport?
I'm just having a look now. I get the teleport. I feel as though when I do that, yes, there we go. As I do that as a reaction, I can also turn myself invisible. So I'm now also invisible. So you just see me as I get hit, gone, disappear, and other people can't see where I am.
Still seen by your compatriot Edelhart and your compatriot behind Vidya, but for the 2 giant statues about to slam on you, completely gone.
Slam on
that then
magic
brings us
bitch.
to
Christian, can I just add something?
Nectanebos. Oh yes.
The dude's supposed to be sapped as well because I'm dealing with my spear.
He's meant to be what?
So
Sorry.
he should have sapped. Got sap. And
Sap.
it.
Oh, what does
Yeah,
sap
so
do?
he gets disadvantage on his next attack roll before the start of my next turn.
Clutch. The rend with disadvantage is going to come towards yourself for hurting him. However, he does have advantage from being invisible. He had advantage against our monk as well, but it's going to cancel it out. So a flat roll this time for a 19 to hit Leslie. Does that hit Leslie?
God damn it. I think it does. Hang on. Oh, no, I'm 19. So what does that mean?
Meets it, beats it,
Meets it.
unfortunately. Do you have...
Oh,
Let's just quickly
damn it.
check if you have any parrying reactions, because that's a fighter thing, learning characters
Do you
for
have
the
some
first time.
saves and stuff?
DM, can I use my legendary actions to attack all of them as well?
Nah. No, I taking a quick look on my side, I don't see one, but on D&D Beyond, when you're on the main page, you should be able to see the filters of action, bonus action, reaction. If you click on reaction, it'll give you all the options your character has for reactions.
Okay. Yeah, it's so weird. There's so much stuff going straight up to level
Yeah,
20.
there's a lot. I don't see one on Foundry.
I've just got opportunity attack, but I do have some special saves. I know that.
That's okay. This isn't the save. I'll do the damage for now, but if you correct me later, that's fine.
Yep.
Damage for now is going to be 17 force damage as it rends through you, this invisible glaive.
Okay.
17 damage. If you work something out later, though, let me know, but take that damage for now.
Yep.
That will then bring us to the actual Colossus's turn, who is going to take a step towards the bridge. Actually, he doesn't even need to. He's just going to slam a fist down towards where he saw you last, Johan, this one. Now let's just have a look. Multi-attack. Yeah, okay. So he's going to slam 2 fists towards you, sweeping across the bridge left and right, trying to make contact with you. The first one comes for a 15 to hit.
Yeah, no, that's a miss.
Okay. The next one comes in for a, even with disadvantage, a 25 to hit.
And that is what we like to call a hit.
It's going to push you away from him 20 feet, which is going to attempt to push you over the edge and into the sand. Can you please give me a dexterity saving throw?
A dex save. Yes, I absolutely can do that.
You got this.
When I bring it up on my Jawnski. Let's find out. Dex save. Oh no, it's over here. Saving throws, dex. Ooh, +2 to that. That's not good. 16.
16. 16 is fine. This isn't his punch. This is a falling mechanic just for the bridge. You manage to hold onto the edge and continue running towards it. You are, however, going to take 30 bludgeoning damage from that fist.
Dang.
And then with its multi-attack 2 fists, it's then going to set out a divine beam with its final action as its mouth opens and you see a large diamond inside of that then roars light towards both of our compatriots still at the back of the bridge. Can both of you give me a dexterity saving throw? Vidya and Edelhart.
Absolutely. I got a 17.
17 is a fail.
Did you say
5
that
is
we
a-
had heroic inspiration?
Yeah, sure. If you want to give it a reroll, you're more than welcome to try. 22. Lovely. A 22 is a fail. So
God.
you're both going to take...
that isn't that 20 though.
It wasn't at 20. So full damage. You're both going to take 69 giggity points of radiant damage.
Oh. Ouchie baba.
The other one here on the bridge is going to do the same. It's going to roar a beam towards Nectenebo, and then slam 2 punches at Leslie. So the beam's only going to hit Raijin, as it's not trying to hit Nectenebo. So Raijin, can I get the dexterity saving throw? And then Leslie, we're going to make 2 attacks against you. So Leslie, we'll do your attacks first. We have a 29 to hit, and a 26 to hit. Both of those hit, I think. Lovely. It's going to be a total of 52 points of bludgeoning from the 2 fists, and you can't go any further as your body just slams into the front of Nectenebo.
Okay.
Mortal, are you having trouble standing on your feet in front of divinity?
I just want to eat my banana.
Just want to eat my banana. And then the beam slams towards Raijin. Raijin, what did you get for your dex save?
26.
26. 26 is just the DC, and you completely just backflip out of the way of what would have been 75 radiant damage.
Oh, lordy.
Excellent. That is going to bring us to Nectenebo's turn. We'll quickly do his turn. Actually, I'm going to do a little swapsy here. I just realized I did both Colossus's turn. I'm going to swap the Colossus and Nectenebo to make it fair.
I, Nectenebo, forfeit my life.
That's going to be Johan's turn.
Johan Aldori. So suddenly he is visible again. He wipes away some blood from the corner of his mouth and spits out a tooth, and he's like, God damn, now I also am missing a tooth. And he sits it in a little pocket in his apron, and he is going to... How far away am I from Nectenebo?
You're still about 60 feet. The bridge is pretty long.
60 feet away.
Can I ask
But we
you-
also...
Sorry, don't we have to limit this turn, and then we're fucked.
That's what I was going to ask. So we heard the voices of the Briar mothers, or whatever the fuck their
Yes.
names were. They said we had 2 turns, right, to get this
12
thing to get
seconds,
out
2
of here.
turns to get the throat or the larynx, and then touch each other. For
Do we
metagame
feel
rules,
like-
be within 5 feet.
Do I feel like I need to grab hold of the throat and we can just take it, or does this thing need to be
That might
dead?
just
Am
do it.
I getting the feeling? All right.
It's
okay,
the entire
so-
body is skeletons. And look, due to your blindness and uniqueness, I would say seeing magic getting closer, the larynx itself is being preserved magically. The rest of his body is being animated with necromantic magic. There's abjuration around the larynx, necromantic around the body. You could probably just grab it through his bones. It'll be tough, but someone just needs to touch it.
That's what Leslie's going to do.
All right.
If you want to focus on getting up, I'd yell out, I'm going to go for the throat. Because I'm really not well.
We are 60 feet away. Let me find a fun little spell that I have here. I just want to find it. Oh, man. It's so hard doing this on my phone. It's absolutely ridiculous. I have a spell, and it is called Fast Step. As a bonus action, I can move. Let's have a look here. 60 feet.
90 feet, right? 60 feet? Okay. Yeah,
60
feet puts you
yeah.
directly in front of Nectenebo, seeing his 13-foot jackal frame, a glaive in one hand, a golden helmet on his body.
I can give you your sight back. You have been born fickle.
I was born fickle. You are not wrong. I have learned to see so much more than mortal eyes were ever meant to see, and it is beautiful and horrific, and not something you will ever get to experience in undeath. And he wants to reach out and grab the larynx if he can do so.
Yeah, 100%. You've got an action to do it. Give
Yep.
me... it's not your forte. It's definitely one of the fighter or barbarians, but you can still give it a try. Give me your choice of an athletics to muscle through the bones and maybe smash your way to it, or sleight of hand to slip in between the bones. Athletics or sleight of hand?
Athletics or sleight of hand? Let's have a look here. So I've got a... God damn you, fucking phone. Athletics is -1, and my sleight of hand is a +1.
Now, I'll let you know, this is a tough DC. This is a DC 20 to grab the larynx. So if you've got a +1, you need to roll a 19 or 20 on Johan to grab it.
Oh boy!
You got this.
Oh boy! All right, let's consider another option here. You said it was necromantic magic keeping this thing stitched together.
Yeah.
Would I know how powerful that necromantic magic might be?
Yeah, I would say this is definitely to raise one of the children of Enkatop. This is probably a 9th level necromancy spell, something that Enkatop himself probably can't do all that often.
Okay, so something far beyond my ability to fucking do anything with here. Just trying to pull something out of my ass.
Let's give it a
doesn't
go.
Look like, it doesn't look like I've got anything here that's going to help in any way, shape, or form.
Do you help get someone up to us?
As swindled by Dan, you do all have a heroic inspiration. So you do have a second
Yay.
chance here. So give it a go.
All right, fuck it. Okay, let's give it a try. I don't like my chances here, but you know what? It's a roll of the dice. Sleight of hand
Nanny.
with a
Nat
+1.
Nanny.
That's a 15.
That's close. As your hand is reaching between the bones, close to it, you feel the drop of saliva landing on the gap in between your forefinger and thumb.
Ah,
Are we going to do
where
the
does the saliva
heroic?
come from? It does not even have saliva glands. Yes, I'm going to try again.
It's a condition.
Oh, baby,
Don't judge
that's
me.
Hey, a 19 for a 20 in total. Holy shit!
Johan Aldori is a fucking hero. That's
You're now the god killer. Johan the god killer.
Johan, as you repeat those words back to it, I see more than you could ever see, and you will never experience this. The comment of your saliva.
It's a condition I have. What do what does your humanoid form see that I do not?
And it reaches towards your eyes, attempting now to rip them out so that it can see from them. It's going to do that, or attempt to, on its turn. All you guys need now is to touch each other. You could do this in one turn. You don't need 2 turns now. You're the thorns. That brings us to our final 2 turns to catch up to you guys. Vidya, that brings us to you. All you need to do is get to everyone now, but you can do it in an epic fashion if you would like. What are you doing?
The most brilliant idea now. Okay. This is so good. I'm so happy. All right. Christian, you know how earlier I said that I still get my flying speed and you said that was fine?
Did I?
Yes.
You said, could I still be a fairy? And I said, your hexblood and like your other side could roleplay be fairy.
Yeah, and I said that I'm still flying and you said yes.
You're gonna have to roll back the tape on this one.
Roll me a luck check because I never remember saying that. But if you roll me a D100, and if you get, I'll be nice. If you get a 60 or higher, you have workable wings.
Right.
And we'll make it canon.
The fairy witch.
Oh, I'm gonna 20.
You got a 20? Okay. They're workable, but it's half movement.
Okay, that's fair. I can work with that. Okay. So, I'm going to pick up our friend Edelheart.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to fly 30 feet towards the rest of our friends.
Is this a contested check, Eagleheart?
No, he'll say, save yourself, I can manage.
You can manage?
Yep.
Oh, well, fuck it then. I'm gunning it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Stuff you,
Don't-
get wrecked.
Yeah. Don't do half
wrecked.
movements, dash, go for it. He can manage.
Okay, well, I'll take my full 60 feet of movement then. Thank you very much.
As you get to here, they haven't been using them as they didn't know what was happening. Nectenable realizes what's happening. A glow from his eyes and a shout.
Stop them from reaching each other. I've foul schemes.
As he sees each of you now, Raijin holding the hands of Leslie, Leslie holding the hand of Johan, Johan's other hand grabbing the larynx, and you begin sprinting. Both of the Colossuses are going to take an attack of opportunity on you, attempting to stop you from moving. They hadn't used reactions so far as they didn't realize the threats that you made. 100%.
Okay, cool. I'm raging.
What is your rage, by the way? Because your rage of the wilds, right? Which animal are we choosing?
So obviously bear. Because I feel like I'm gonna be absolutely thunder chanted in a minute.
Yeah, both attacks coming at you are going to be a 30 to hit and a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
With a low roll, 18 plus 35, so 40, 52, 53. 53 points of damage, which is going to be rounded down to 26 damage instead.
Stunning. Thank you very much,
As they
Lay.
crack into your back, you pelt behind you with your weapon, parrying their hands, but feeling the brunt of the weight of these 300-foot-high colossus before making your way and laying a hand firmly on Johan's back, turning backwards now to your final party member.
Who's a stupid, by the way.
Is that the end of your turn?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Grace was at the end.
Oh, I just said you were stupid. It's all good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Before Edelhart's turn, the Colossus are going to take a legendary action. Both of them cross-weaved are going to attempt to hit Johan and the two beside Johan with some divine beams. As they cross the rays, can I please get a dexterity saving throw? From Vidya, Johan, and Leslie. Two dexterity saving throws from you three.
I got an 18.
I got 4, but I do have something I can roll twice. Hang on.
Not good.
Yeah, you can redo your saving throw.
If you fail a saving throw, you can re-roll it with a plus 20 bonus. So, I'm going to re-roll that again with a plus 20 bonus. To fit some gear.
Wait, what? What? I was zoned out for a sec. You get a plus 20?
I got a plus 20 and I rolled a crit.
So you got a 40 dexterity saving throw. Holy shit. Look, this first beam, I'll allow you. What did we get from the other two? What did Johan get?
5.
And what did Vidya get? 18? 18's a fail. I will allow all three of you to be a pass, thanks to a DC 40, which is near godlike, to be honest. DC 30 in D&D is meant to be an impulse. 43. DC 30 is meant to be an impossible check as a dungeon master.
Yeah.
A 43. Leslie, you body block one of the beams. Everyone will take half damage, which is 53, rounded down to 26 instead. 26 radiant.
And do I take half of the 26?
It's radiant, so no, you don't.
I hate these new fucking rules. They're so stupid.
And then the second beam crosses across you three. What were your saves for that one?
Oh, another one?
shit.
Okay. Don't worry, Jeb. You can just do it again, can't you?
Oh, okay. No, I got a 20.
Oh wait, I
Okay.
rolled the wrong one. Sorry. 6.
I got a 6 too, but hang on, let me see if I can do it again. Indomitable.
What was this? Indomitable. You can do it 3 times per day, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again.
Oh yeah.
I'll help you, Johan. I'll help you. Hang on.
And what do you roll? Let's see if you can protect the entire
see if
party
I
again.
can-
2 natural 20s in a row.
Oh, 18 plus 20, so 38.
38. Look, 38's not far off. I'll be nice for the end of this. I'll allow it to be another with a 38 so close to godlike. Leslie, as dumb as you were, you step past, and as you go to pick up your tooth from the stairwell, both of the beams coming towards you, you turn back towards your friends. I found it, guys! As the beams slam into your back as you accidentally protected your friends. That will bring us to the second bit of damage, which is... Oh, it was 60, so that is 30 halved for all of you. 30 radiant damage.
What was the
across
last one?
board.
And I can't remember whether I added it. Is there a way to
20
see a history?
26. 26 from that one, 30
so
from this
56.
one. Yes.
Because I can't remember whether I added it. Is there a way to
now,
see a history?
I cannot see that. Sorry, no, not myself.
Okay, alright. I think I'm down to
Before we go to the final
53
turn, because
points,
I
guys.
think Edelhard has a way to get there. He's a wizard. Let's just quickly go across the board. Raijin, what's your health? What out of what?
Raijin is very well off. He's like 122 out of 143.
Easy. Leslie, what are you on?
53 out of 204.
Okay,
God.
a quarter hit points. Johan,
I think
what
I
are you
might
out
have
of what?
given him an extra 20 because I couldn't keep track, so I don't know.
That's okay. 20 hit points means you're still alive, so that's all that matters. You're still up. Johan, what are you out of what?
97 out of 183.
Okay, taking a bit. Vidya?
So we're at 97 out of 285.
Wow.
Okay. Also nearly a quarter hit points from your huge hit point chunk. Edelhard, what are you on?
137 out of 182.
Lovely. Still sitting nice, but a big chunk taken from these demigods. Edelhard, as we go to your turn, the last member to join the party, your beautiful black hair glistening in the wind that rustles across this the sandy chamber that we find ourselves in. What would you like to do for your turn?
As Video runs off, he starts like pacing, just leisurely, just a few feet up just as if he's like trying to keep pace and just obviously doesn't. And then he casts a spell, as he's wont to do. He's going to focus that spell on himself. And it is Vortex Warp.
Vortex
He's
Warp.
going to voluntarily fail that save and teleport to this cell here.
As you connect a chain, grabbing the hand of Raijin and Leslie, which were straining around the body of Nectenebo, you form the snake. And as you do, each of you connecting, touching one another, and then Johan, reaching inside, grabbing the larynx itself. No! Ankte! And his voice disappears for all of you. In an instant, briars and thorns and roots surround your bodies and squish you, crushing you in half a second. A reaction from all of them, killing these bodies. And with droplets of blood being sprinkled in the cavern of wood that you will find yourselves in, heads looking up from that kneeling position, having grown again from another small, grotesque, tumor-like fetus into your own body, your hag-like teleportation magic, looking up at your three mothers, yellow-skinned, green-skinned, and white-skinned, the violets, the Violet Briars. Excellent. One down, two to go. Lemrodia is our next expedition, younglings. Pack your wintry gears. As you see another copy of each of your animals, a reptile, a calf, and all the others get brought out, ready to teleport you to the next place. And that is where we will end tonight.
Oh yeah!
Hooray! We made it!
The evil people are winning. So, Hag Magic, fun thing. You are all going to be long resting. Each of these, you're going to have all your stats, because as you saw, the puzzles are a bit complicated, a bit fun for you guys to work your way through, and the combats are like, I'm going to kill you right here if you mess up. So some fun stuff there.
Guess what? Leslie has all his teeth.
Yeah, Grace, sure. If you can work out how to code level 21 on D&D Beyond, you can 100% level up. And Gem, yeah, I guess your tooth grows back. Hag Magic can do anything, baby. You got a full fresher dental again.
One quick one, Christian.
Yes.
I managed to find an item. I went through the whole item list for like 2024 and everything. I found one called Flash Powder. Do you think we might have got the Flash Powder off before the thorns and all that stuff, so we could give them the finger and Flash Powder out?
If you want to have done that as a reaction, 100% sure.
Yay! Flash Powder finger.
Silhouette of like a small little mushroom cloud of your finger comes up in flashing powder.
Fuck yeah.
As you teleport away from the child of Anktepot, Nectenebo, Lord of Jackals, and steal the larynx of the Pharaoh himself, readying yourselves now to travel to Lamrodia, a new dreadlord, a new domain of dread, and a new ingredient. The second of the three, which we will see next week, gang.
I'm so nervous.
We ran a little bit over. I hope you guys had fun. Definitely tune in for next week itself with our same characters for this small little spin-off. And we'll see what Violet Briar's plans are for Strahd and for Barovia.
Yes, I hope everyone enjoyed this little spin-off of Beckoned Blackest Night. We have another 2 episodes of this before we go back to our regular planned broadcast. I had a blast. It's nice to be in the player's seat every now and then. I'm sure I speak for the rest of the cast as well. We'll be back again next Monday at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. If there's anyone still here from the raid from Let's Roll from Dragons, want to say thank you very much. Make sure
the raid
you
from
like, share, follow, subscribe. I didn't even see that one because I can't even see Twitch. You guys as well. We love you guys.
Yeah, all the love tonight.
Hey,
it's been amazing.
That was awesome, man.
Yes, Christian, thank you for stepping in and DMing for me while I'm away from my setup. It's good,
One
and
shots are
thank
fun
you as
because
well
you get to go
Mods.
balls to the wall. Yeah, I don't need to do all
Amazing.
the weeks worth of prep work and like foreshadowing that you have to do spend. I can just be like, there's a badass demigod. So no, it's
straight to the
exciting.
fun part. No, it's good. Yeah, no, it's been amazing. Yeah, we got another 2 episodes of this coming up, so make sure you stick with us. And when I get home, I'll be editing and putting those up for people to watch on the YouTube as well for the VODs. So anyone who's missed, if you could, it would be for eternally grateful if you could maybe leave a comment on any of the videos of Beckoned Blackest Night on YouTube. Of course, usually we read out one of those comments. We didn't have any for the previous week, so didn't have anything to read out. That's okay. And just a quick announcement as well. We're going to be starting a brand new campaign right here on Crit and Miss Role Playing Games on April 1st. It's not a prank. It's for real.
It may be for us, though.
It happens to be on that actual date. It's a brand new campaign. Mr. Mark Hillman himself is going to be running Vecna, Eve of Ruin, and we have an absolutely stacked cast for that one as well. I feel bad for Mark. To put it simply, it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be playing in that one. I haven't done the full announcement for that cast yet, so keep your eyes open for that one. Make sure you join us on Discord! Discord. Back over to you, Christian, to round out the night.
I think we're honestly done there. Obviously, we're doing first time producing here with mods, so we're just going to keep it nice and simple. It's 11:30. We went over. Let's say goodnight, everyone. Get some sleep.
Good
and
job,
see you
Mod.
next time.
Well, there's no way I could stuff this up, so let's do it.